Aha! Talk to me. Okay. Last time I forgot to pop out in YouTube chat. Which is something I try to do. Whoop. Whoop. I accidentally closed my Twitch dashboard. That's probably important. Callum! I have internet. How did local get first? Callum? I mean, I can't really blame anyone because the Twitch's reliability when it comes to the challenge point redemptions are sus at best. Well, here's the thing, local. If you redeemed first, then you're officially first. It doesn't matter what the first message was in chat. It's simply, it's the law. Everyone always does, except for the one person who doesn't. Okay, what should I listen? What should I personally listen to while I'm playing this game of chess? Oh, you play ready? Yeah, have for a long time. I quite like it. Yeah. Well, I transpose from the ready to the Catalan usually, so I don't know if I count as like a true ready player. I mean, this is where the bishop belongs by all accounts. This is always annoying, so I have to always make sure I'm watching out for him. But I don't think it works here because I think I just have knight e5. Maybe even knight a3. Knight a3. Now, this line is probably one of the weaker ones from a theory perspective because it's like some Neo-Grunfeld transposition, but I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to be played. Partially. I find that knight f3 avoids some lines in d4 that I find more annoying, like some specific Tarash lines or the Albin counter gambit, you know, stuff like that. Meanwhile, the ready allows me to freely transpose into the Sicilian. Like I can meet the early c5 with e4 and transpose into Sicilian as well, which I kind of like. The ready transpose Catalans do have some downsides, but by and large, knight f3 is always an inclusion in the Catalan, so you're not giving up too much. There are some weird nuances. But it's less so that I don't like lines that start with d4 and more so that I really do like lines that start with c4. Knight c3 might have been a better move here. I just like the knight being here because it makes this capture far less threatening. Okay, he wants to push the e-pawn. What a coinkydink. I also want to push the e-pawn. e5 is not currently playable. I do expect knight h5 though. g3 Catalan. Do you mean like g3 before knight f3? g3 first. Like move 2 or what? Move 1. Oh, okay. So more of like a King's Indian attack sort of thing. Fair enough. I want to go here just to provoke a weakness. Because like either one of these I feel like creates some problems for him. It's not much, but I think h6 is worse than it being on h7. Just from like these pawns perspective. I could be wrong about that. But... W modern player? No, modern is not nudge. The modern, it just, I don't know. There we go. It's either Catalan transpose or modern openings that I turn hyper aggressive. Yeah, I just, those modern openings are just a little bit too anti-principled for me. I don't care for them. Also, hello, Gong. That's true. I forgot to say hello. How rude of me. Whoa. Really? Really? They do allow for creativity. That makes sense. No. They're far from objectively unplayable. It's just, I like it. For me, it's a personal preference thing. Huh. What would tall do? Sack a piece, but I'm not tall. Because see, if I sack a piece, he just has knight f6. And I don't have a good way of dealing with knight f6. Getting me to emulate him, that's a tall order. I'm so funny. No, guys, you don't understand. Actually, I was going to say that tall sacrifices were smart. Tall order. Like, a tall order, but McCall tall. Extreme gambling. Yeah, no, definitely. That is absolutely in line with my moral compass. A rook move probably makes sense. I like rook a d1. Is g4 actually threatening? No. It's not. I think g5 is a poor move. That's my opinion on the matter. Hello, suspended. Mikhail Tal is well known for saying that his sacrifices were bad. So bishop takes g5 is in character, but I'm not Mikhail Tal. How'd you lose power? What do you mean, how'd you lose power? I live in a mountain village in Eastern Europe. It's a miracle I have power. What the heck is that? What discoveries do you have if I take with queen? That can't be a good move. There's no way. There's just no way. It's just a pawn. Yeah, I'm calling the bluff. There's no way. No, I'm not regretting anything. No, like, look at this. There's no way. There's no universe. Like, just queen g6. What do you do? My queen's not getting trapped. You can't, like... You can't play chess like this. You can't. You just can't. I'm going to play knight e5 next move. What are you going to do about it? How do you stop me? What's your plan? Like bishop e6 or something? Bishop e6 doesn't even look good. No. No. No, chat. No. No. I can also retreat my queen to c2 at any time and never have any problems. Like, look at this. I like this move a lot. This is just such a strong piece. This knight doesn't exist. Bro fell for the opening trap. What opening trap? I'm so confused. I guess if this is a psychological play, it worked. Now he's trying to trade queens. I'm up a pawn. What is this? Chess Imperial Japan Edition. If that's a seppuku reference, then yes. I would have played g4. G4, knight f4, pawn, bishop takes, pawn takes doesn't look productive. It doesn't look bad. Like, it looks perfectly fine, but I don't see how it helps my position. And I don't want to play a move that I don't understand. What did they just take on g4? Also that. I was being optimistic. Like, I'm actually don't know what to play in this position, because I feel like... I mean, taking on g4 probably is bad, because knight takes, and then if you take again, I have this. So it probably is bad. Hey, the Chestnut, thanks so much for the raid! Give me a sec. Do I know this person? I don't think I know this person. I'm just going to take his queen. I'm simply up a pawn. I follow that guy? Oh, do you? Okay, so somebody here knows him. Yeah, I'm just up a pawn here. I don't get it, guys. I really don't. I'll go this way. I've seen him on TikTok? Oh, really? I was in his stream 20 seconds ago. Well, why, thank you. Thank you for the raid. And thank you for stopping by, everyone who was brought here for the raid. This bishop's a garbaggio. What can I do to make it better? I could rotate it. I'm legitimately struggling because I feel like every move is good. I could... Is there some way to get rid of this knight? Don't see it. I'll rotate my bishop around. This knight guards this pawn now, so it looks reasonable. If, let's say, suddenly you were so unimaginably good at chess, you could beat any human or engine today without effort, the same way as a 2500 playing a 200. If you were that good that nobody could give you a grain of salt worth a challenge from anyone, would you still find enjoyment in the game? Probably. Because a non-zero portion of the enjoyment I find in chess is like the beauty naturally present in the game. Not all of it. And I would lose a good amount of what I like about chess in that case, but it would not... I wouldn't stop enjoying it. It's less so of a debate and more so a personal taste and preference thing. Someone else saying no, I wouldn't enjoy the game anymore is not wrong. They just approach chess in a different way. It's a different stylistic thing. It's a different temperament. It's not a wrong answer, per se. This just... I feel like I'm going insane. This subtly threatens to trap the knight. I don't know if he'll notice. It'd be sick if he didn't, but I expect he will. It's a very blatant threat. Hello, Rexpor. Okay, he did see it. This knight is terrible. Is a5, a4 a plan? This looks kind of nice. Knight e4 is annoying there, but it's not good. Hell, how are you, fish? Actually quite good. A little tired. And a little bit anxious in light of approaching exams, but good. Okay, knight g. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. need to play faster. Exams when? On the 26th is it's a specific exam I have, and it's on the 26th. I'm happy with that trade if you want to do it, because that's by far my worst piece. Oh, nice. I disagree with that positionally. Maybe I'm wrong, but so bad. I'm doing pretty well. Sure. If he takes, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that in general. This might be a stupid move. That's a weak enough time now. We'll see. This exam, last time I took it, I got a 0. So now, how much of that is my fault is up for debate, but it did happen. It was a 0, so. I'm guessing it's quite a normal score for that exam. I don't think so. I think my professor just doesn't really like me. That's my theory. I mean, free piece? I don't want to draw. I'm up a piece. What the heck is this guy doing? I'm so confused. This is one of the most confusing games of chess I've played in a very long time. I'm also playing very poor chess, but that's beside the point. Okay. Time is my biggest issue. Other than time, I'm winning beyond belief. So stupid. It's not pre-move. He might get fancy and take one of the knights at some point. Betting on me pre-moving. Let's not make that easy for him. See? What did I just say? What did I just say? Got him. Okay, now let me actually read chat. I'm sorry, I didn't read anything during that last stretch. Okay, I think we're graded anonymously. Yeah, and even if I was graded anonymously, my professor know instantly who I am because I'm the only one who's not a native Macedonian speaker. So just my basic grammar and handwriting immediately. 3 days, don't plan to be going into my school. That's kind of bad. Fentanyl. Ah, yes. Thank you, Jim Bro. Which move came with check? Mr. Hawkins. Because I have no idea what we're talking about. You do all your tests by hand? I'm in Eastern Europe, Norwegian. The dirty one? Oh, the night check? The takes night? I told you it was going to happen. Yeah. No, yeah. I fully expected that he was going to play this at some point. You saw, I previewed, I was like, wait, no. Hold on a second. This has happened too many times before. I was wondering if you'd actually still find beauty if you're unimaginably good. Yeah. I read it for earlier. I think I would. It's hard to know until you're in that state, but I don't think the complexity of chess helps my perception of its beauty, but I don't think it's necessary for it. You can always be proud of your play, but I pretty clearly wasn't playing super duper intense. I mean, I didn't even play my normal opening. I never go for the Grand Prix without playing G6. So I wasn't exactly... Oh, so there's no... Bullets, by one exception. That's where I don't find beauty in chess, is bullet. My Russian isn't that good, so... I mean, Uni has stated that they're discussing move back to pen and paper because ChatGPT and stuff. Yeah, no, that's... we aren't that... It's, again, you're very much assuming... Did you hear that J.K. Rowling might be getting sued? What'd she do? I mean, I know that nobody liked her, but, like... The thing is, I barely ever played the Grand Prix either. I played it like 5 times total. Duh. I mean, if we have proved anything in modern day academic discourse, it's that ChatGPT doesn't have to be good at something for people to use it to cheat at that thing. Yeah, exactly. Really? You're happy giving me the bishop pair for dubious compensation. And I get a tempo on this knight. I don't like the way my opponent's playing. I mean, I like it in the sense that I think it's very good for me, but I don't like it in the sense that I think it's bad for them. Ah. Are we surprised at this point? I feel like that's very in character for what she's been doing for quite a while. Where are you putting that knight? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is going swimmingly. I'm just unsure what to play because I feel like I have so many very tempting choices. I should continue. I really want to play like Queen G4. Just to kind of prevent the development of this bishop as well and force like G6 or something, which is an ugly move to play in this position. Yeah, see what I mean? And now I'm going to go A4. Because this knight's coming. I don't want this knight coming to B6 as easily. Yeah, this was always my plan. Okay. Heck, I could play A6, and that wouldn't be that bad, I don't think. I hit 1800 blitz recently. Hey, congrats! Which tournament is this game from? This game is not from a tournament. I start my streams by playing some Rapid until I lose, as both a warm-up and a chance to increase my elo, because my elo is terrible. So we have not started the tournament game analysis yet. We will in a moment. I recently played in the Macedonian Team Chess Championships, effectively. It's not what it's called, but it's basically what it is. And so more likely than not, the games will be looking at from that. Plus, I usually end up analyzing some viewer games as well, just because I enjoy it, and so I just end up doing it as part of the process. Get back. I'm 1670 bullet now. I only play bullet like once a month. Yeah, my bullet's pretty bad. Don't remember exactly what it is. Okay, give me a second. We are so close to being able to like do some goofy sacrifice. I mean, something like this is already probably fantastic. I would love to play G4 right now. Like, you don't understand how badly I want to play G4. I might rip it, but... Well, I mean, it's probably... maybe they're doing some what's the word? Defamation thing? That would be my guess. Oh, now I really want to play G4. Now I really want to play G4. How do I get punished for doing this? I don't think I do. I'm playing G4. I'm having too much fun in this game. I might lose just because of how much fun I'm having. I'm having way too much fun. Look at this position. Look at this position, guys. It's so much fun for me, not for him. He's not having fun. My opponent is not having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm not even going to take that. I'm just peacing out. That doesn't do anything. This is a little bit annoying, but I would just play... I want to play King G2. Maybe I can get away with just F5 there. That's very aggressive, but I might be able to just get away with F5. I actually think I can, because you're not threatening it. I want in. This can't be a bad move. It might not. It might be a terrible move. I don't know. I just... My heart... This is a heart move. This is not a brain move. I did not use my brain for this move. Which is probably a bad thing. Thoughts and feeling. This is a feeling move. There was no there was zero brain activity when this was played. None. Zero brain activity. Like, if he takes again, I want to take with rook, play king h1, and kill him. That's what I want. That's what I want for Christmas. Okay, let's trap his bishop. Easy. It's not trapped. He can go here. But then he gets mated. So, it's not trapped, but it's better. He should have taken. At least maybe he could make an argument that, like, he has some he's got to be dead. He's got to be dead. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way you live this, right? Yeah, no way. Also, I'm currently writing an application on a week-long position as a political advisor for the parliamentary group of the Social Liberals. I'll never get the position, but a man can dream. Oh, yeah. Still apply. That is 100% GG. And notice I didn't take with pawn. Because then he would have this, like, queen check, and I would have to think, no, this is mate unless he takes it with queen. And then I take with pawn, and it's mate in one. Well, this game went fantastic. What, 21 game? Oh! Look at that. Look at that, boys. Come on. There's no way I didn't make a mistake there. There's no way. This has got to be... I must have messed something up somewhere. That game was too much fun. You are never allowed to have that much fun in chess. Exactly, Loco. No, there's no way. You're not allowed to have this much fun in chess. Stockfish is too much of a buzzkill. That's good, Norwegian. Because that... Yeah, see, a miss. I had a miss. Where was it? Oh. Oh, and then 94, and I infiltrate on the dark squares first. Yeah, no, this is better. Okay, I did have one miss. I did have one miss, because this gave me big space. This just wins everything in a bag of chips. Because I'm playing knight d6 next move, and you're going to kill me. No, you're going to kill me. I'm going to kill him. What was my accuracy? I don't even know. I don't remember. Where do you see accuracy again? 88.4. So not fantastic. It's because of that one miss. It says I played like a 2400, though, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I told you this was wrong. It's plus 1.3 here. You can't play like this. You just can't. Ah, queen g4 isn't even that bad. I mean, this is a fantastic position. You can play basically anything here. A4, this was me getting a little excited. A4, I was getting a little excited. A5 being good, I'm very happy about that. I'm so proud of that. Queen e2. I wanted my knight on that square. I didn't want my knight. I didn't want my knight just being stuck on c3. This felt like such a natural progression. Which, I mean, it ended up working. Ah, I knew it wanted me to take. I knew in my heart I wanted to take. I didn't. G4 is correct. Let's go. These are the moments. Look at that. It's plus 6. It's plus 7 actually. The computer's saying king h7 is the best move. And then here it's forced mate. Very nice. Okay, that game went really well. Look at that, 2 strong wins in a row. Okay, let's make it 3. I haven't gone on a win streak in rapid in like months. It's been months since I've gone on a rapid win streak. Alapin, okay. Good. This stuff I always get hit with bishop takes f7. I don't feel like having to calculate that. What's your opening against c4 English? Against the C4 English, let me remember. I have the Dutch and I have a transposition into a Slav. Which one I do depends on my mood. But those are the two things I play. Yeah, this looks fun. E5, C5, C3, knight F6, E5, knight D5, F4. I think I've seen it once before, but isn't that dubious? Oh no, they're completely different openings. They're like not even closely related. The Dutch is F4 or F5, move 1. The Slav is C6, move 1 to play D5 next move. They are so very different in nature. It's like 0.2 when you're down 2 pawns. Oh, that's fantastic. See, that's why no one should ever play the Sicilian. It's such a terrible opening. It's so much fun though. Like even this position, I have no clue what I'm doing here. Queen B6 was a vibe move. Because the last game went so well when I was playing off vibe, so I'm like, okay. It worked the first time. Can I take that? I really want to. If he takes on D5, I can take on F3 and then take on D7 because both come with check, right? If he takes on D4, then goes knight B5. I can go queen takes D2, queen takes D2, and bishop takes D2, king takes B2, and then go like king D8. But the problem is then he gets knight D6. That's kind of ugly, actually. That's more than a little ugly. I could go queen B6. No, queen B6. Actually, queen B6. No, wait, I take on E5 there. So what I'm calculating is knight takes D4, knight takes D4, queen takes D4, knight B5. That's the move I'm unsure about. Now, I think I have queen takes E5 there. Or maybe I take the bishop first, and then after bishop take, or queen takes, then I go queen takes E5 check. And the difference is now I'm up 2 pawns, and actually I'm preventing this, so I can just castle, yeah? Yeah, I think it's good. North Macedonia, that's a cool country. Thank you. I think so. Ah, minus 0 point, a huge difference. Huge difference. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, I didn't think he could do that. I thought I had this. Maybe I don't, but I really thought I did. And then this. And the problem is everything comes with check. And then this. And I can castle afterwards, right? Ooh, I can take on beast 2. I can take on B2. Don't mind if I do. Now I can take on E5. This is being way too greedy. I shouldn't be able to get away with this. This is so greedy. I mean, if you can't punish me, though. And now I just castle and I'm out. I'm done. Are you grinding rapid elo? Well, I'm doing my thing where I play one rated game before I start whatever I was planning on doing for stream, actually. So yes and no. everything looks right. I do occasionally. Depends on the stream. Very few streamers get that attention from me. For like chess tournaments, I do that. For sometimes like a Daniil stream, I'll do that. Yeah, no problem. It's a 2084. That was a bait, by the way. Okay, well I couldn't tell. This I like too because bishop a6 comes with check, and bishop b7 is not a threat, but. And he doesn't have any goofy stuff like that because I take the knight back with check. He might have had this. No, because then no, it didn't work. It didn't work. Just a moment, I'm solving my positional problems. We do need a watch time command. The watch time wasn't working on my bot a while back. I haven't looked. I am going to analyze computer games. I just usually go until I lose, and I've won 2 rapid games so far. And I just want to keep going as long as the elo's just flowing in, right? Because I'm only 2084. I want to get back at least above 2100, if not back above 2200. Ooh, interesting. Okay, how stupid of a move is this? Or even bishop e7, but like, how stupid of a move is this? It doesn't look stupid. I think it's good. I mean, this is going extremely well. I usually don't... I mean, this game... The first game was a little bit messy. Actually, no, he just gave me a pawn. Never mind. The first game was easy. The second game, I had all the fun in the world. No, Aqua doesn't work. Are we sure? Are we sure? It really looks like it works. Okay, he might be able to win a pawn afterwards. No, because I win a piece. I don't see how it doesn't work. Knight f6 and queen g3. Hold on, let me calculate. Knight f6 I take with queen. I absolutely do not take with whatever else you could take with it. No, it takes with queen. 100%. It's so close to there being some back rank tactic here. There just barely isn't. There's no back rank nonsense, guys. It's Jover. I think this is good anyway, but I know it doesn't work. That's what I'm saying, guys. The queen is optimally placed to prevent all of my fun. Yeah, okay. If I go here, the problem is if queen takes, pawn takes, he gets like rook d7, which is mildly annoying. I don't think it amounts to anything, but letting him have the second rank is simply unprincipled. Queen c5. I'm playing a rated game. I would prefer if you did not make recommendations. Thank you. I appreciate the desire to support, but I really... I'm just going to go for this because I don't think rook d7 amounts to anything. Because rook d7, like a5 or something. No, it's fine. I got you. Oh no, rook a4, rook a5, sorry. I just have rook a5. Now this is fine. Sacking the rook on e3. No, I wanted to do that too, but I don't think it really works that well. This is non-analysis. It will be, Jackster. It will be. I just usually start by playing a little bit of Rated first, partially as a warm-up and partially to get back my lost elo. And today's is going particularly well. I like this as an option. No, that allows knight g4. I can just take on a2, but it feels like that's a bait. It feels suspicious for some reason. I could also play d5. I kind of like this. I kind of like this. Thoughts and feelings, chess? Yes. You've been around here. You've been around here, Gone. You know how I play chess. Vibes over calculation. It's only slightly a joke. If I take the knight now, if rook e4, queen takes d5, rook takes e3, pawn takes e3, queen takes e3 check. I'm up 2 pawns. And I can probably force a rook trade pretty quickly. That looks pretty nice. Part of me wants to keep the exchange though. I'm gonna go for it just because it looks like a pretty concrete way of winning. Oh, it does, doesn't it? I didn't know that either. Fondue. Is your name pronounced like the cheese, like fondue? Or is it more fandue? Like, what does the fan do, sort of thing? What kind of name are we dealing with here? This looks like a forcing way to trade off rooks. I like that. I'd be happy to trade queens and then, oh, give me that. I was hoping he would play that. I was hoping he would play that move. I didn't expect him to, but... Fendo. Okay. Gotcha. Ah, nice. That went well. Okay. So if we hit 2100, then I'll stop there, even if I don't lose. And I'll start doing the analysis, because this is going on way longer than intended, because I forgot how goated I am. I forgot how actually cracked. Let's play some anti-London, boys. Alka, why are you playing d5? Because I want to. Oh, this line's annoying. This line's annoying. Literal definition of suffering from success. Did you lose rating on tilt because you're rocking 2000s like a baby? Yeah, no, that's what happened. It was partially tilt and partially the fact that I would play too late at night for my own good and would end up sabotaging myself. I've hit 2200, which I know, like, sounds like cope, but I swear I have. 2214. That sounds right. Xmon, thank you for the follow. I'm just going to play this very calm and rationally. Because this knight c3 line of this specific move order of the anti-London stuff is the one I'm weakest at. Because I know taking the pawn, he gets like knight a4 and then rook b1 and then like some weird, really, or maybe it's rook b1 immediately. There's some very weird stuff in that line that I don't remember super well, and so I don't want to enter into. It's called the Sicilian, baby. So I'm playing terrible this game. Well, this is what happens. I start playing good and then I stop paying attention. I have to take that first. Then he's going to take the knight, right? Actually, don't want to take that pawn? Yeah, that makes more sense. I was wondering. The Italian's nice. If I weren't a dragon player, I'd be an Italian player. Conclusion, chess is boring? Nah. Good chess is boring. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking. No, there are actually a surprising number of sound gambits. Like, more than you would think. More than I would think, at least. Plus, another thing to notice about me, I think it was Fando who asked, is that I'm also very inconsistent as a chess player and as a human. I really struggle keeping up my own pace. Don't remember it super off the top of my head, Jim bro. He's spending a surprisingly long amount of time on this. Maybe I should have played c4 last move. I intend to play c4 this move if he doesn't take it. Or play c4 himself, of course. I don't know. I know that they do draw most of the time, but I don't know if they'll specifically try to play a Berlin. No, I've said this before, but I'm a firm believer in Fisher Random or Chess 960 or freestyle chess or whatever you want to call it. I think we should be moving towards that as a chess community. What's that, like a goofy Jerome? Which the Jerome is already goofy. So becoming a goofier Jerome is actually kind of impressive. He's spending a lot of time on this move. Which I suppose makes sense. I would say it's a pretty important moment. Yeah, the Jerome is a meme, but it's a funny meme, so nobody cares. I like this move. I want to play bishop d6. I want to get rid of his bishop pair and also make it knight versus bishop instead of knight and bishop versus two bishops. Because giving my opponent the two bishops looks like trouble that I don't want to deal with. I don't have the mental energy to deal with an opponent who has the bishop pair. I don't want that. Just because it's stinky doesn't mean it's unpleasant. It's not unpleasant, sorry. It's just stylistically I find it annoying. Yes, next question, Jimbro. That's a very easy one. You can give me harder questions. Don't think you could. Never challenge nerds on the internet to how much they can study an unimportant topic. You'd go through that one guy's blog and just be depressed. That's so sad. Okay, wait. Do I play Queen G3? No, I think I just go Queen B6. This doesn't actually look that terrible for me. Like, obviously, white's better by a noticeable amount. But, like, shockingly, I'm not depressed. Does my knight get trapped if I go H5 to F4? Probably. What is he planning? What is he planning? It actually looks reasonable. Low-key trash position? Yeah, but only low-key, so it doesn't count. That's the perfect plan, Jim, bro. I like it. This really isn't that bad. It's bad, like, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely noticeably worse. But, I mean, unironically, I do have the knight in a closed position. Now, how much that matters is a bit up to personal interpretation, but... yeah, the drone is not good. Okay, how do we continue? Unironically, my opponent does have a weakness to deal with. That's not the easiest thing in the world to deal with. Don't get me wrong, this is still a bad position, but like, I absolutely have one worse. Because it's bad, but I have like more counterplay than you would expect. Because at the end of the day, it really only is a pawn. Okay, how stupid is this exactly? Because this does come with check. Unironically, I do have a time advantage. Don't think it matters, but like, Alien Gambit is actually a legit opening. You don't get to diss the Jerome and then call the Alien Gambit a legit opening. Alien Gambit is trash, bro. Man, I know the engine lines probably are playable, but it's genuinely unclear now. But it's so hard to play for white. Is this endgame that bad for me? It honestly doesn't look that bad. Rook endgames, you know, notoriously drawn. Well, you have the chess bras beating people with the Jerome. That doesn't make the Jerome good. Drawn rook endgame. That was way scarier than it needed to be. Actually, I kind of prefer black in this endgame. Maybe I'm stupid. Let's play it on a little bit more. It's a draw. My opponent offered a draw, but he's got a significantly less time than I do. And it looks to be an easier position for me to play than for him to play. So I want to play this on for a few more moves. I do not expect to win, but... you know... stranger things have happened. You're now going to lose? Probably. What's your point? Okay. Give me a second. Rook d6, rook takes d6, king takes d6, king f5, king c5, king g6, king b4, king takes g7, king takes a4, king takes h6. Not good for me. Bad king and pawn endgame. My goal here is strictly to give him practical problems. Okay, hold on a second. Now this is different. Rook d6, rook takes d6, king takes d6. King e4, king c5, king e5, king b4, king f6, king takes, king moves, king takes. Push, 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 push. I'm a tempo late. I think. Right? Wait, let me calculate this again. Rook d6, rook takes d6, king takes d6, king e4. For example, and the king e4 is by far not the only move. King c5, king e5, king b4, king f6, g5. Oh, g5 might even be an improvement because g5, king g6, king takes h6, king b4, king takes g5, push, 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 push. So he can't push that one, which means he has to move the king out of the way first. Can't move it there, so he has to move it, let's say to h6. So wait. Yeah, this might work. I'm either a tempo late or it works. Should I go for it? Nah, let's have some fun. If I lose, I lose. It's content. And if I win, I'll look like a super genius. Oh, he doesn't go for it. Interesting. 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 Very interesting. Why didn't you go rook g3? Because I didn't want to. It's still 100% an objective draw, but now he's got 8 seconds on the clock. Drawing a drawn position with 8 seconds on the clock isn't easy. Okay, fantastic. Okay, one more game and we get 2100. One more game, chat, one more game. And then I'll start the analysis. So no matter what happens this game, I'm starting the analyses afterwards. Because either I win and I get 2100, or I lose and I end because I lost. See, that's partially why I like playing incrementless games, or incrementless time controls, is because a lot of the time you can sort of just outspeed your opponent in some sense. And like in these really dry positions too. This is an incorrect move. You should be going b5 and then bishop b7. I also messed up in the opening. My theory in this position isn't bishop g2, it's queen c2, but I mixed up my lines. Whoa. That's a funky one. Well, I mean, why not, right? I don't think this is good for black. This is just a weakness. Um, let's do this. I mean, I don't think I'm winning or anything. It just feels like I should be slightly better in this position 100 times out of 100, you know? Is now the time to get silly? I mean, I could just take the knight and take the bishop and never be worse. Bishop's kind of bad. I definitely messed up a little. Because letting him have this bishop isn't that upsetting. It's the fact that I double my pawns. Okay, let's take the knight and see which way he takes back. If he takes C, I'm not sure I'd take his light squared bishop, because it's pretty bad in this position. I think now I take it. This isn't fantastic, but I do think I'm poor choice. Maybe I'm not. Maybe my bishop being bad is a problem. Although knight c5 is probably annoying for him. And queen a5 is a threat. I think I like my position. I'm not in love with it, but I do think I like it. Okay, I saw that, but I wasn't worried about it because I felt like that was a long-term weakness. Maybe he's trying to play queen a4. That doesn't look good either. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to play knight c5. And then after takes, pawn takes first or rook takes first? Rook takes, let's say. Then be threatening this pawn, but queen a4 I still think is his plan. Queen a4 is kind of annoying, actually. Kind of annoying, actually. I mean, can't be that good. Give me a second. This is a weird position. Like, I feel like I should be better because his pieces are awkwardly placed, but somehow my pieces are also awkwardly placed, even though they look much better. It's a very deceptive position. Is queen a4 that scary? I don't think it is. I think trading rooks benefits me. I think. Yeah, I'm fairly certain trading rooks benefits me. Well, it's because it's very simple, Gone. Queen c3. Yes, no, clearly best move. It's very simple. Rhythm games are meant to bring some portion of the satisfaction you get from learning an instrument, but make it much, much easier. I was never good at rhythm games. I was never good at them either, but I've always really enjoyed them. Despite being pretty trash. Because for me, it was never about being good. I don't try for draws. I disagree with it philosophically. Maybe knight c5? I think knight c5. So you could play Uso? No, I told you I'm bad. Good was not what I was saying. I was saying I enjoy them. I'm quite terrible. I just have fun while doing it. This is a very strange position. Rook c4 I did not expect. Well, no, it's I can understand why it's a legitimate question. Not offended by the question. I was just trying to answer it because I'm a Twitch streamer. When someone asks a question in chat, I compulsively want to answer it. Now here comes the what's your social security number? I know. Here it comes. Anyway. Well, you simply turn it to easy mode. I mean, most rhythm games I've played have an easier setting. I don't know if it's always called easy mode per se, but I don't think that was a very good move on his part. Yeah, I used to feel like a loser playing easy mode in rhythm games, but then I've slowly learned to get over myself. Yeah, Bitte is thank you. I knew that. I don't know German, but I knew that. Bitte being thank you. Material count is even, but in a very strange way. In a very strange way. Ah, okay. That's fair enough, I suppose. Well, most good rhythm games have some way for you to set the tempo manually, at least in my experience. I mean, I could play check with tempo, but I don't think it's productive. I'm saving the check. Because I think the check gets better with time. See? What did I just say? What did I literally just say? Now, it's probably still objectively a draw, but what did I literally just say about tempo moves getting better with time? I don't think he's fast enough to pro the pawn. Maybe I'm stupid, but if he wants a draw, I don't. Am I stupid? What? Oh, this was his point. This was his point. I am stupid. We answered the question definitively. Pawn grubber? Yeah, well, you know. Guilty as charged. Now, that being said, I do have 3 pawns for the piece. So I actually think this isn't as clear as it looks. I'm not still winning. I'm definitely not still winning, but this is not as obvious a position as you would think. And there's no way I'm winning. His bishop's also pretty terrible, which is nice. But this c-pawn is very annoying. I think the time situation benefits him by quite a bit, and so I think that's going to play a role. Seems like a draw. That's what I'm saying. Yes, pawns get better as the number of pieces on the board decreases. What happens if I push c6? Check and... I'm confused. Why can't I play this? Am I afraid of something? Because don't I have something goofy like that? Because he doesn't have any checks in this position. This doesn't look scary. Is he going to play like queen f5? But then I take that. Don't think that helps his position any. Maybe he's not worse, but... Is he a genius? Am I... Uh-huh. Somebody's wrong in this position. Okay, give me a second, guys. I won't be reading chat for a little bit. I'm below a minute. That's basically my rule. Is if I'm below a minute, I don't read chat. It's too hard. So just give me literally 1 minute to win this game. I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. I saw it as soon as I played it. I'm going to keep pushing since I don't believe in resigning, but like... Oh, I was so close. Yes, time management is one of my weaknesses. I'm not very good. I was totally winning. No, next question. Part of it's practice, but also I think part of it's kind of ingrained in my psyche. I was so close. Okay, give me a second. I knew when I messed up. It's right here. This. I missed G5 afterwards. I thought F5 and I'm like, oh, I'm fine, but I missed G5. Just here? Yeah, just there. Right here. Give me a second. Right here. In this position, I just go here. Not there. Here. And he's out of checks. No, he's out of good checks. No, it's this one. I was in check. That was the problem. But I just go here. Because he doesn't have this. This, he pins his own queen and no longer has any more checks. And if he just takes a pawn or something, I take here. If he moves the king, then I can... Queen h5. Evidently, he has something there. Queen e5 at some point's the play. And then walks up at g5. I did watch Rocky. It's a good movie. Nope, triple zeros. This was the mistake. Up until this point, right now, it's triple zeros. Which makes sense. He goes queen f5, and he definitely has a perpet here. I told you, I'm not winning this yet. The queen is too strong. The queen is too strong. Exactly, Psychic. Because here I have to take. If I don't take, then I'm just cooked. And I suppose we're going to go queen f1, king f1, but this doesn't improve the situation. It's the same problem. I still get checked into oblivion. And if I do something fancy like this, then suddenly it's quite bad. Definitely it's queen c2. Yeah, I'm threatening mate in 1. And funny thing, I can queen and then get mated. This was a mistake though, which I told you. That move was the strange one to me. And after I won the piece, it was clearly winning, but it's just so stupid. Queen f4. King f2, king f5. I should have been more bold. My king can just run over to the side of the board and he can't do anything about it. He can do all the checks he wants. My pawn is 2 squares from promotion. I don't care about literally any other pawn on the board. I really got overexcited and was like, "Ooh, I have to defend all my pawns," but no. But no. All of these pawns are completely irrelevant. None of them matter at all. This is the one that matters. And so I was focusing on these pawns, and so I ended up losing. No, debates are fine when their purpose is not to convince the other side. Debates are fine when their purpose is to allow the audience to see two different perspectives. But the problem is then it ends up being kind of difficult because you have to have two parties which don't want to make the other one look bad. Because debates are just not useful for truth seeking. They just really aren't. Yeah, no, Danya's correct. Now that depends on the end game. For example, bishop endgames. Quality doesn't matter, it's quantity, I think. Maybe I have it backwards, but I'm pretty sure in bishop endgames having a lot of pawns is more important than having one or two good ones. Maybe it wasn't bishop endgames. It's one of the endgames where you want quantity, not quality. I was just actually watching a Danya video earlier before stream. Good stuff. Anyway. This game was tragic. So sad. Okay, well, we'll get 2100 next time, boys. Now, to the actual thing that I advertised in the stream. It's been an hour and a half because I'm actually goated with the sauce. So what's that? 3 wins and a should have won? Yeah. Oh wait, 4. Never mind, I'm goated. Okay, 4 and 1. It's not terrible. Yeah, but I am not convinced at this point that Sneeko actually has a well-informed and opinion that he's convicted of, because it changes so often depending on what makes him the most money. And it could be a coincidence, but in which case his goal, the goal of his opinions isn't to have something coherent, it's to have something that looks good in a debate. Those sorts of people are always going to beat you. It's why flat earthers look good in debates. Because debates are more about you're making your opponent look stupid than they are making you look good. Right? I'm talking internet debates. I'm not talking like formal in-person stuff. I'm talking online. We went over that one. Which game was this? Okay, here's a game to look at. So are we going to do another guess the eval? It went last time. I think we will. Let me find a suitable position for this. I like this position. We'll use this one. Yeah, we're doing the viewer game analysis in a second. I'm just starting with one of my games, like we did last time. Alka, what's your take on the Mr. Beast situation? I'm not sure what take there is to have. I mean, you have older videos with stinking inappropriate art of minors hung on the wall. Like, I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry. Like, I don't know, man. Play devil's advocate? What devil's advocate is there to play? At this point, there's no question if he knew or not. Now, the thing that I probably have the hottest take for is Delaware. And even then, my take is I'm not 100% sure if hiring him itself was bad or if it's just having him on video, which is bad. That's the hottest take I have on this situation, is that I'm not 100% sure if hiring him itself was a mistake or if just having him be allowed to be on video was a mistake, because there's no way he should be on video. Like that's very clear. But oh yes, of course, that's my take. You know me, huge Mr. Beast fan. Haven't watched a single one of his videos, but I'm a huge fan. He paid me to have my opinions. No, I've never seen a Mr. Beast video. That's the honest truth. I have never seen a single Mr. Beast video in my life. I think if his channel got banned, he would be canceled. Yeah, he's not gonna, that's the thing, it's not gonna touch him. Not because he has too much influence, just because his audience is a bunch of children who don't care or aren't aware. There's no, like... Unless YouTube does something, there's like no consequences. Or there's going to be no consequences, I should say. Turn off this little arrow. Yeah, the guy who isn't alleged but actually has a conviction from when he was 16. Because if it had been 16 years since his conviction, hiring him in a not on camera role, I'm not sure I strongly disagree with. I don't know the details of the situation enough. Having him on camera, you would never have to, like, there's no thought process there. Or if they rehabilitate, that's what my point is, right? Being on and off camera. The point is, if he's on camera, then he's a personality with influence over children. Who has more influence than you would normally before, you know? That's the difference, to me at least. If he's like doing accounting or something from the Mr. Beast company, then he doesn't have any more like influence over or interaction with children than anyone else does, right? That's my opinion. But he definitely shouldn't have been on video. For that reason. There's like, you... rehabilitated or no, you can't... you just have to have some level of safety on that one. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy does the it's done for every 2 seconds for Mr. Beast. I mean, views are views. But when the video is scripted and all of his interaction with kids? No. You don't understand. I'm not saying the interaction he has in the video. I'm saying by being on video, he's now famous, right? Famous to a child audience. I wouldn't want someone who has a history or who has been convicted of abusing children to be famous on a channel or to a child audience. That's my point. So I would have the same take of him being on like Sesame Street or something. I wouldn't want him on a channel where kids see him constantly. And he's like touted as this cool guy. You know? That's my issue. Just from a basic rational safety perspective. Hiring him, I don't think I have enough information, but he should never have been on video. I think I've seen like one episode of Sesame Street ever. I didn't grow up with Sesame Street. I grew up with Dora the Explorer and like VeggieTales. I was not a Sesame Streeter. Okay. So y'all ready for the position? To kind of try and evaluate? It's white to move. I'm not sure if I'm wording my opinion very well, Norwegian, but yeah, okay, see, that's more rational than I was scared you were going to say. Oh yeah, no, it's again, that's the hottest take I have on the topic. I don't think it's that hot of a take. We're doing again, we're guessing at the evaluation of this position. This position. Before I reveal it, and then we actually go through the entire game. It's a very weird position. Yeah, no, again, I feel like from just white to move, yes. I feel like when it feels black to move, he would just take the queen and the evaluation would be pretty clear. It's not that fun. Because people can change. I mean, unironically gone, you know, if you're trying to raise a kid who knows multiple languages, I know a guy who's trying to have his kids learn 3 languages because he himself speaks 3 languages. And so like one parent speaks one parent speaks the other, and he does school in the third or something stupid like that. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about child rearing to have an opinion on that one. But yeah. No. We are guessing at the evaluation of this position. Base Sana. No clue? Oh, well, come on, try to figure it out. Throw something out there. Oh, wait, I forgot. I have to actually do a prediction for this. I forgot, like, the central part of this entire thing. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. It's not gambling. It's a competition of skill with no real life rewards on the line. Not good at evaluation? Well, this is a good time to practice it. It's like tactics. You might be terrible at tactics, but it's still good to, you know, practice a bit. Flex that muscle, you know? You don't have to put any channel points on it. That's just the people who want to. Yes, no, I am a firm child gambling believer. I mean, come on. We've already got state-run gambling to tax the poor. We need something to tax the kids as well. And I don't see anything better than gambling. I mean, seriously. This is basic fiscal policy, people. If this is like -4, I'm going to be mad. Oh, that would be pretty funny. Hello, Fluppy. Hey, hey, don't be mean. That's rude. It might be like mate in 26. It's not going to be mate in 26. Hey, thank you for the follow, Mirror Hand. And also Chess Quack. I think I forgot to thank you for the follow. In which case, I'm very rude and I'm sorry. If it's wrong, I'm over. Okay. Let's turn on the analysis. You ready? You ready? No, actually, you know what? Let's start it. Let's go through the game. And then we'll do it. We'll leave it for, well, I'm gonna make y'all wait. It's more fun that way. Okay. So, chess tax could allow for doubling of the debt ceiling. I don't think there is a debt ceiling. Have you seen US debt and Japanese debt in like every Western country and like every other country? I mean, Japanese is not Western country, but you get my point. Every developed nation's debt. There is no debt ceiling. When can guarantee people on table day, it breaks my heart to know about these people struggling, so I have a solution. We bring the casinos over to them and introduce them to gambling. That way they can win $1 bazillion and feed all the families. No, we've already done that. Was that your game? This is my game, yes. And that position was from this game. I have the white pieces, and I am playing against a grandmaster. Oh, RB Chicken Man. I have white, the grandmaster has black. I told you, Queen C2 is my prep here. It's a slight improvement. Now, it's a weak grandmaster, given. He's only like 2350 or something. Maybe a little bit higher rated than that. How much was he? Just a hair below 2400. What tournament did you play this? Macedonian Team Chess Championships. You couldn't have told me that before? That was spoilers. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. I haven't been analyzing the game, just been going through the moves. That's no fun. There was no snap there. That was weak. Okay, pretend that happened the first time. I went all in on you being +2 against the GM. See, that's why I didn't tell you. It's more fun that way. Okay, knight f3, d5, d4, e6, c4, c6. So far, completely normal. CO2 tax on breathing and flatulation. Wouldn't it be flatulence, not flatulation? Anyway, and dreaming of... I am arguing for the grammatical correctness of flatulence. What does my life come to? Anyway, dreaming of pollution. True. Okay, c6 is the move that I hadn't seen before, but I'd learn a little bit. I don't remember the name RB Chicken Man either, Mr. Chicken Man. So I'm gonna level with you. So we could just say, welcome. We'll pretend it's your first time. No one has to know. Yes, have I watched all of them? Yes, I've watched all of them. I mean, not all of them. Wasn't there that old Japanese Spider-Man movie? Like from the 70s or something? I don't think I watched that one, but I watched those 3. Fluppy beats all of y'all. Just want you to know. Anyway, you are no longer 680, are you, Callum? See? Elo. What's the opponent's name? I'm not telling you. C6. So I played Queen C2. This is my improvement. I used to play G2 in these G3 in these positions, but this is actually kind of uncomfortable. Surprisingly, it's actually quite difficult to win this pawn back. Shockingly difficult. Rank the actors worst to best and rank the movies. So am I ranking the actors and then the movies? Like the actors in general, or their portrayals of Spider-Man, and then I'm rating the movies. See, that's the thing. They did their different things. Is this a tournament game? Yes. This is a tournament classical game against a 2400 rated grandmaster. Well, am I doing the best? Because, like, here's the thing. The Tobey Maguire movies have the entire spectrum. You have 3, which is terrible. You have 2, which is fantastic. So is it just both the best and the worst one? Am I ranking all the movies? What are the odds? There are no odds. This is just a classical tournament game against a 2400 GM. I'm just playing straight up chess against a grandmaster. It's fantastic. I love this tournament. Is he old? Pretty old. Figuratively. What are the odds? Yes. The odds are yes. I don't love playing with odds. Just give me chess. I want to get smashed. Okay. Queen c2. And Queen c2 is just so if you take, I take with queen. And there is a line here that goes something like this. But I've always liked this position, and so this wouldn't bother me if he went into this, which he did not. He played knight f6, and we end up transposing into a weird version of one of the main lines. Came out wrong? Probably did. Okay, let's just rank the movies. Okay. So the actor-wise, I would say Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield. Actually, never mind. I'll put Andrew Garfield above Tom Holland. And then from a movie's perspective, if we're doing them as like a batch, then I would say Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield. And if we're doing them as individual movies, it goes like Spider-Man 2, then like Far From Home, Homecoming, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. And I think I'd actually put Spider-Man 3 over No Way Home, because I really didn't like No Way Home, which is one of my hot movie takes. That's one of the ones that people don't... That's the ones, one of the ones most people don't agree with. I really didn't care for No Way Home. I don't like No Way Home at all. I actually didn't like that movie even a little. I found it annoying. That I would watch that movie. The spider that got bit by a man. I'd watch that. Okay. This is the first move where I was a little bit, not confused, but unsure. This is putting some uncomfortable pressure on this diagonal, but I figure knight BD2 can't be a bad move. Over defending the pawn. I could play rookie 1e4, and it's just a position. Homecoming is the worst for me. Worse than the Andrew Garfield ones? Ooh, I don't agree with that. Even if you don't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Homecoming at least has a very compelling villain. Bishop a6 is interesting? Yeah, it is. It's interesting. I'll have the analysis on. Analysis stay us off for now. It's interesting. And so I played knight bd2, which is very standard. I play this anyway, so him playing bishop a6 doesn't really affect this move, but it's just a good move in light of that. I was also considering b3, but I couldn't remember if b3 is one of the main moves in this line, or if it's just knight bd2. Turns out b3 is correct, and you go b3, knight c3 sometimes. But I didn't remember, so I just played the move I knew after some thinking. For how long you didn't stream? Yeah, as much as I like some of the movies DiCaprio's been in, I don't think he's like that good of an actor. He's really quite good, but he's not like best of all time category. He's not GOAT. He's just a really good actor. Cillian Murphy belongs... Forget Cillian Murphy. Where is my Christian Bale? Okay? Cillian Murphy's also fantastic, though. At the bottom? No. No, you stop. I'm kidding. I sure hope so. Anyway, bishop e7, rook e1. Getting the rook off this diagonal and preparing e4. Very normal. Christian Bale, hey? Yes. He's Welsh. Don't ban you yet. You're lucky I don't like banning people. Anyway. e4. And so here, I already thought, I already really liked my position, because after takes, I take with knight, and it feels like a slightly better version of a lot of the main lines, because I think the bishop is just worse on a6. This pawn is a huge weakness, and my bishop's fantastic. Okay, fair enough. In that case, Norwegian. I really quite like Christian Bale. Joaquin Phoenix, I also really like. e4, rook c8, e5. You also watch films? I watch a lot of movies. It's not complete yet because I have to add a bunch of sequels since I just recently decided to add sequels. But currently I have a list of 200 movies ranked in order in a Google Sheet. American Psycho, high-key boring movie? Base take. I completely agree. But this wasn't an argument about American Psycho being the best movie. Christian Bale did fantastic in that movie, even though the movie was bad. That happens sometimes. You have actors doing amazing jobs in terrible movies. Well, I do watch some. Honestly, foreign films are a weak field of mine. Most of the stuff I watch is Hollywood or movies. But that being said, I would say that, you know, if you're doing like the Scorsese cinema distinction, then I would say that you can get stuff that comes out of Hollywood that is cinema. I mean, come on. I'm a huge Nolan guy, so like I would argue stuff like Interstellar is cinema. I've never seen Napoleon, but he was really, really good in Gladiator as well, and he was very good in Walk the Line. So it's not just Joker for me. Never watched a Scorsese film? I have. I just can't remember which one. It's been a while. It's going to take forever, yes. It's not about Tom Holland I didn't like Homecoming. It's really the quality of the characters. Like, MJ wasn't dating Peter yet, so she wasn't interesting much. Whoa. That's a take. The aunt in this universe I didn't like much, right? Maguire universe inspired the best quotes. I don't like the lowball humor that movie goes for. That's fair. It's just for me, Homecoming, again, had a compelling villain. Even like, again, the Andrew Garfield movies, between the two of them, they didn't have one compelling villain. Far From Home, not far, No Way Home didn't have a compelling villain. I love Willem Dafoe, but man, I didn't care for the way they did stuff in that movie. And even like, and in Spider-Man 3 was kind of weak in that regard as well. I have not seen Dead Poet Society. It's on my list of movies to watch. I really do want to see it, and I will. Okay, so, and then he went, after E4, he went Rook C8, and I was trying to remember during the actual game. I'm pretty sure you really want to take this, because if you don't, have you seen Get Out? No, I have not. It's also on my list of movies to watch at some point. You could play in The Big Lebowski as the dude. That, I'm going to interpret that as a compliment. I want to see Get Out. I also want to see Nope. Again, I'm missing a lot of movies. It's 200 movies, but I'm missing a lot. This is not a complete list. And he went 98. And so at this point, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay. I have a huge space advantage. What is my opponent going to do in this position? Like, what is his plan? And I start thinking, and I'm like, you know what? In a lot of these lines, in the Catalan, putting a piece on the g5 square is very important because you threaten mate on h7. Additionally, controlling the g5 square prevents a lot of counterplay that bishop g5 would bring. And there's this principle where if you have a space advantage, so sometimes you want to like also push for space on the other side of the board. I didn't like American Psycho as a movie, but I still think Christian Bale's fantastic. Yeah, that was a weak weak line. I agree. Yeah, that one I don't know about, but if I cut my hair a little shorter, I could also play Richard Rapport in the chess movie. Anyway, also need to lose a little weight for that one. The dude I wouldn't have to lose weight for. That's the benefit of that one. Anyway, it's with Monty Python members. See, I've seen Quest for the Holy Grail, and I've seen Life of Brian. I'm very familiar with Monty Python. I love them. They're fantastic. Yes, Callum, I will. Doc Ock is fantastic. Is fantastic in Spider-Man 2. It really, Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie. I firmly agree with that. I think it's very hard to dispute that one. Who wants to make a chess movie? There's already been a few good ones. There haven't been that many good chess movies. Queen's Gambit was good, but that was a show, not a movie. Anyway, so I went h4, which turns out h4 is actually a pretty good move. Doc Ock overrated? Maybe, but he's still fantastic. Interesting. Oh, that's a classic. No, I'm telling you. Spider-Man 2 is excellent. Also, Mirrorhand, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Well, you know, Monty Python in general is good abdominal training. That's the nice thing about comedy. Budget doesn't matter as much. You can, I mean, honestly, budget doesn't matter in general. You can make a pretty good movie on a pretty low budget. But, like, especially with comedy, if you can write, then you can make, you know, an amazing comedy on 15 cents and a stick of gum, you know? Which, I mean, that's Monty Python and Holy Grail, right? They didn't have enough money for anything. Finding Alan Moore and telling him you loved his movies? I think he'd stab you. Have you seen 12 Angry Men? No. Also on my list of movies to watch. I've got a long list of movies I need to watch. Why would he stab you? Has Alan Moore made movies? I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And most of the movies made out of his comics have ended up being hasn't cared for them. Far From Home I really quite liked. No Way Home I didn't care for because it felt like, so even if you don't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, there were some things that were unique about it that I thought were interesting, right? Like the directors talked in interviews about how they didn't want to show stuff that, hey, you've already seen every other Spider-Man movie, you know? So like there was no scene of him getting his powers. There was no scene of Uncle Ben dying. There was no, a lot of these things, because they're like, we've seen this already. We're trying to do something new. And I respect that, right? Exactly what I'm saying. That's why he'd stab you, Gone. Anyway. And so, for me, I enjoyed. Do you watch movies in Macedonian? Nah. Macedonian is my second language. I'm much better in English. And so for me, No Way Home kept all of the weaknesses of Tom Holland's Spider-Man while removing any of its strengths, bringing in some of like the worst plot writing I've seen in my life. Like every 30 seconds there was a gaping plot hole that completely took me out of the movie. I've not seen Detachment. And then on top of that, it felt like insanely pandering with how many lines from older Spider-Man movies they dropped in there. It's like, okay, we get it. You're trying to remind us of these old movies. Like, just make a good movie. If I wanted to see those other movies, I would go watch those other movies. If I wanted to see Spider-Man 2, I would go watch Spider-Man 2. I love Spider-Man 2, for the record. I really do. So for me, Far From Home, and especially... No, Homecoming and especially Far From Home were trying to do something different, which was interesting, even if it wasn't as successful. Because money, Norwegian. Yes, but I don't want to see all of it again. I want to see I want to see something new. And there's no finale because like Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man 3 kind of was a little bit of a dud. It's a fun watch, but it's not a very good movie. The Andrew Garfield stuff like was a bit of a waste of potential. And so what are you putting a finale on? You have a lot of these series that none of which kind of are in a good spot, and you're bringing them back without refreshing. Like, you're not doing anything new or interesting. Like, it was almost interesting what they did with the Green Goblin, but it's just, I don't know. DC has some good movies, but DC has some real stinkers too. Like, wow. DC's got the full spectrum of good to stinker. But the thing about DC is you don't know. With Marvel, you can kind of like tell when it's going to be bad. But with the DC movies, you have no clue if it's going to be good or bad. You have no idea. You're just going in completely blind, which almost makes it more fun. Nah, you could say that, Slash, but you have Joker, you have The Suicide Squad. I quite like the Snyder Cut, but I can understand why other people wouldn't. Ah, fair enough, Callum. I've never seen Thor: Love and Thunder. I dodged that one, and I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty satisfied with dodging Thor: Love and Thunder. And I'm not bringing up the Dark Knight trilogy for DC because it's been long enough that I don't think they can get carried by Christopher Nolan anymore. What did I say? Squad? Is squad like a bad word now or something? No, have not. Oh. Oh, come on, guys. Relax. If people can go for stinking months, like, watching Iron Chef on this platform, it's a must-see. Oh, yeah. You know what I like? I like Pig with Nicolas Cage. Suicune Squad. Oh yes, naturally. Ah, well, there we go. Well, I guess I'm responsible for a lot of harm. Anyway, H4, and then he went C5, C takes, and this is when we arrive at the position that I originally showed y'all. And if we do the evaluation, Chiribu Chiriba, land on the vault. Thank you so much for the follow. Night, Norwegian. Well, first, at depth 31, it's giving +1. Unlimited. So it's saying +1.57. Well, +1.7. It's going up slowly. Yeah, +1.7. Yeah, that's true. The bottom line ratio is... Okay, come on. My life is over. You shouldn't have gone all in. I'm so sorry, but you really should not have gone all in. I could have sworn it was +2. No, I guess it was just +1.8. No, I have not. I told you, foreign films are pretty weak for me. I'm not quite that deep into cinema as of right now. Like, the most obscure thing I've seen is probably like Wavelength, which isn't that obscure because Folding Ideas mentioned it in one of his videos, and so I went and watched it. Horrible movie. Oh, is it now? Again, just whisper me this stuff so I don't forget, because I will forget as soon as I end stream. You know what movie was eye-opening for me? I mean, it's obviously very like cliche, but Citizen Kane, man, I can't tell you how many movies I liked less because of Citizen Kane, because I often give movies the excuse of, okay, they're from like the 60s or like the 70s or like the 50s, so they didn't understand film as an art form yet, right? Like, it wasn't like a thing. Then I watched Citizen Kane. I'm like, never mind, these guys have no excuse. They had no excuse. The Spider-Verse movies? Yeah. So, I'm one of the hippies who thought the first Spider-Verse was overrated. Good movie, but not as good as people said it was. The first one is overrated, so I can shake. However, Across the Spider-Verse is absolutely fantastic. Is spectacular. The second one, the newer one. No, it's not +2. It's +1.8. Stop that. Slash. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jim Bro. So anyway, CXD4. And so here I played Queen B1, which is the second best move. What I should have played was Queen A4. Now, the reason I didn't play Queen A4 is because I was scared of Knight C5, and it guards the bishop and attacks my queen. Now, what I missed is that in this position, I can play Queen A3 and you don't have any good discoveries. This looked terrifying because I'm right in front of your bishop, but there's nowhere you can move your knight that's any good. Yes, I completely agree with you, Local. The first one, way overrated. Like, massively overrated. The second one is spectacular. It made the first one look like a pilot episode, like a pitch. It really, because one of my biggest complaints for the first Spider-Verse was like, okay, the multiverse thing is cool and all. It's a little overdone, but whatever. Everyone looks the same. I know that they have some uniqueness, like, okay, this guy's in black and white. Penny has a vaguely hand-drawn anime-looking aesthetic. But no. They all kind of look pretty much the same. But Across the Spider-Verse is like they finally like they were given the ability to do it. Everyone has a completely different way of existing in the world, and it's beautiful. It's just stunning. I love it. I'm so frustrated. I get frustrated sometimes when animated movies stick to the laws of reality in their visual design more than they have to, because it's like, okay, you can do so much more. Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, no, I'm not some Palestinian kid. Fun fact. Anyway. Queen A3. Can you not play knight D3? No, I take on A6. You could take my rook. I don't care. Because I'm threatening to trap your bishop. So what's your next move? If you take this, then where's your rook going? And I'm already 2 pieces for the rook. But I also have far more active pieces and a space advantage, and it's just fantastic for me. Yeah, no, that was great. So did you win this? Spoilers. See, that was a good way of including the Spider-Man pointing meme. It was fun. No, I adored Across the Spider-Verse. It's like super high on my list. It's like number 12. It's like my 12th favorite movie of all time. I adored that movie. I still do. I did not blunder my queen because I played Queen B1, which isn't the best move, but it's the second best move. The number 1 move is Queen A4. This is the best move. This is the best. It's not what I played though because I was scared, and so I played Queen B1, which is the second best move. It loses a large portion. What's the number 1 movie? Interstellar. I love Interstellar. That movie has a very special place in my heart. So I played Queen B1. Then what happened next? I don't remember the exact moves. And then he took, and I played B4. I'm pretty proud of this move too. If you like those sorts of movies, then you'll like it, but it's a bit slow. It has dialogue problems sometimes. Yeah, those are my only 2 problems with it. Have you ever watched Bullet Train? It's really entertaining to watch. I've heard that it's fun. I haven't seen it myself, but B4. And he played D3, which I thought D3 was fine. And this is why I was a bit of a coward. I should have played knight D4 here, but I was a little bit scared, so I played B5. Knight D4, I was afraid of this, and I felt like he was holding on to his pawns too much, but that's kind of dumb, because I just play Bishop F1, and I'm taking this. Polar Express? I don't care for Polar Express. There's a film without modern speech that I think you will like. Oh, yeah? Talk to me. Again, I haven't watched many foreign language films. It is a weakness. I've seen some independent stuff, but yeah, no, Polar Express I don't care for. I'll Google this so I don't forget it. Quest for Fire. Interesting. What was the other one you mentioned? I've seen pictures of you somewhere. It's a rom-com? Not Quest for Fire, the other one. Amelia? True. Well, Jackie Chan fight scenes, there was a lot of entertaining hand-to-hand combat scenes. Oh, that sounds fun. There's like no info. Of course there isn't. So what was okay talking about? Best Christmas movie, and why is it Home Alone? Okay, wait. What's actually the... I mean, it might be... What's its face? It might be Die Hard. Die Hard might be the best Christmas movie. I don't remember, but... What's that? What actually is the highest rated Christmas movie on my list? I don't remember. Probably Muppets Christmas Carol. No, yeah, Muppets Christmas Carol. That would be my best Christmas movie. Because I love the Muppets. Sorry, Home Alone does not beat the Muppets. Yeah, I think I have. So I played B5, which is a coward's move, and loses a good part of my advantage. And at this point, I'm quite low on time, which is very unfortunate. I end up playing for what is simply the wrong idea. I thought I was cooking, but I in fact was not. And then I messed up a transition into the end game because I had literally like 30 seconds. How did exactly I miss this? I almost had it, but... something like this. And then he messed up a little by letting me have bishop f4. And then this is where I messed up. He played rook back to e8, I believe. Yeah, he played rook e8. Oh, that's not rook e8. He played rook e8, and my game-ending error was I had to play c7 and try and hold on. I took this. I have no idea. I don't know what game we're talking about, but it might. Animal's my favorite drummer. Yes. I almost flagged. What placement did you get for your team? Decent. Yeah. I prefer the original Karate Kid, but even then, the original Karate Kid, I like it as a movie, but I don't think it's like one of the best of all time. And then after this, it was just, I was too greedy, and it was, as the kids say, a jover. And again, very, very bad. 13th team? No. What do you think of this best animated movie or show? Ratatouille. Closely followed by Wall-E. Those are interchangeable. I really like old Pixar. I love me some Ratatouille. How do you feel about The Incredibles? Yeah, the second one wasn't very good, but the original I really quite like a lot. It's not as highly rated as my other movies because I think it lacks some of the, for lack of a better term, elegance that WALL-E and Ratatouille have. And additionally, I think the animation has aged slightly worse. Especially stuff like Dash's hair looks pretty terrible. And I understand it was quite impressive for its era, but still, I can't quite, like, ignore that. Hello, Defensivity. What the heck is this? Yeah, no, this isn't us. I don't know what the heck this is, but this isn't us. Why are you trying to look for my tournament results? I do quite like The Incredibles. So when I say I'm holding it against it, I mean it's number 24 on my list instead of number 2. You know, which is what Ratatouille is. Okay, Ratatouille's number 3, not number 2, but you get my point. Anyway, this game was a tragedy because I was plus 1.8 against the Grandmaster. Probably one of the worst things to happen in yeah, right. No, yeah. It checks out. Yeah, no, checks out. It's hard to name something worse. Dash's hair was pretty bad. It's Lost on Time? No, I'm just completely dead here. I played until, not until Mate, but until a few moves from Mate. Just out of, you know, sheer tenacity, but there's not a whole lot to play for. As he forces a queen trade. Or he forces something. Yeah, he forces a queen trade here. And there's just too much material, you know? And I'm just cooked in this endgame. I tried. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That I have seen. I liked it quite a lot. Haven't seen it in a long time, though. I need to rewatch it to have a more concrete opinion, because it's been a few years. But that one I quite liked. I like the stylized action a lot, which I know is like the thing to like about that movie, but like, I'm using the word like too much, but it really was so interesting. Syndrome was a villain, incredible. Syndrome was incredible, but no, Syndrome was fantastic. One of the better parts of the original movies. Again, that's not my criticism. Syndrome is absolutely not my problem. Only 9 teams? Well, I mean, we're a small country. What can I say? Okay. So I lost this game, which is tragic because I was doing really well. If you had a light squared bishop, it probably would have been a draw, right? Well, let's ask Stockfish. I don't think so, just because I feel like he has too many pawns. Ugh. I think he has too many pawns. How would you rank Up, the movie Up? Up, I liked, but I didn't like as much as the other Pixar movies, because it's one of those movies that's kind of carried by that first scene. Now, I don't think the rest of the movie is bad. I'm not one of those people, but I do think it kind of... it doesn't keep up that pace. Up is very good, though. I liked it. It's high on my list, but it's not like super high. It's like 85 or something. Yeah, I mean, Queen's on the board. Queens just actually makes it worse. You have to remember, Gods Must Be Crazy. Haven't seen it. You have to remember, Queens opposite color bishops benefit the attacking side. My king is insanely weak. Queens on the board with opposite color bishops probably make it worse for me. Or if it were possible. Yeah, Up. A movie about the virtues of harassing the elderly. Okay, wait. Now we're actually doing the viewer game analysis. It's been 2.5 hours, but we finally got there. Jimbo, did you have a game? Hot take? How is that a hot take? I mean, they're not going to. But Pixar's time is up. I have kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm now okay with the fact that Pixar's not going to go back to its golden age. And I'm okay saying it's time for someone else to make something great, you know? It's not a Silver Age. Why are you showing this game? It wasn't very good. Their animation is still pretty good? Yeah, but it's not what it was. That's the thing. Oh wait, that laugh was 5 minutes ago. Okay, you got a free laugh. You're welcome. Anyway, that's the thing. It wasn't good before. It was boundary break. It was groundbreaking. It was insanely fantastic. Yeah. Right? That's the thing. Pixar didn't used to make good movies. They used to make fantastic movies. Even Soul, which I liked, is, you know, the Borat movies. Haven't seen those either. On my list, though. Those I do have on my list to watch. Again, I've only seen a few hundred movies. I'm not that well versed. I like the visuals in Turning Red. I've never actually seen Turning Red. I dodged that one too, for better or for worse. Have you seen The Great Dictator? No. Also on my list. What have I seen? It was Duck Soup and Animal Crackers. From that era. But I haven't seen The Great Dictator. Never watched Toy Story. The first one isn't that good. The first one, mad overrated. However, the rest are really quite... the rest are... Mods ban this guy. No, he didn't. He's cooking. Get Alco in a game, finally. Nemo? What about it? Are you talking 50,000 Leagues or are you talking Finding? Which Nemo are we talking here? If you had a movie around dinosaurs and you sold dinosaur toys, they would still sell without the movie because dinosaurs are cool. Without it being attached to a movie, Toy Story's toys wouldn't sell, right? Yeah. Both, now that you mentioned them. Okay, Finding Nemo I always liked quite a lot. I don't love it. It's not one of my favorite Pixar movies, but I do like it. And 50,000 Leagues I also quite liked. It's another one of those movies that's aged elegantly just because, one, the source material is good. You know, if you do a good job adapting a good book to a movie, you often get something pretty darn good out of it. And the central dynamic is quite compelling. So I like 20,000 Leagues as well. The 1955 one. I don't know if there's another one. I wouldn't surprise me if there is, but I'm specifically talking about the 1955 version. You play D6 against Knight C3. That's part of the reason. Partially, it's also just because it's what I know. She likes water. There you go. Well, I mean, to some degree, I would say that Nemo's character is less so that he likes water and more so that he hates everything else. You should learn G6 against Knight C3. I looked into that actually just today. I might at some point. Just gonna skip over the stuff. I'm not sure what to say. It was a blitz game that I played while I was waiting for my mom to call me back. I told you, like, I don't even play this normally. I don't usually play E6 here. I usually play G6 here and then play E6 afterwards. That way I get my guaranteed dragon setup. Rough game, loss, you kind of need to be able to take on F6. Yeah, it's a loss, absolutely. But again, I normally don't play this system. Normally I play this. And bishop G7, and then this system with knight E7. Which I find usually quite playable, because you just basically over-defend the F5 square to kingdom coping. Yeah, I guess a little. Diamond equipment decades before it existed. That's also part of what makes it so impressive. 50,000 leagues, no, 20,000 leagues just as a story is quite good. And so, if you, again, are intentional about it and do a good job, looks a bit like a Stonewall. I guess I could see that. The Matrix? I don't think it aged well. In what sense? In what sense do you think it didn't age well? I'm not saying I necessarily disagree, but what's the problem with Fiend Count after you play Queen G3? Here? You mean like G6 or something? F5. Or Bishop F6. There isn't a problem. This is what I played. Or I played this like a move later, but it isn't a problem. The problem is I played Knight D4 here and fell for the exact same tactic that Jim Bro showed me like 3 days before. Earth the Moon is also prophetic? I've heard of that one, but I don't know as much about it. See, The Matrix to me is one of those movies, or even film series, like the 3 of them, that are improved a great deal by the presence of fan theories. Very, very steampunk. Ooh, I like me some steampunk. Might have to read that. That light bishop looks way too strong. It's not actually as strong as it looks. King H8, and you don't really have as much as you think you do. Because first I'm threatening to take this, so you kind of have to move it. Then where do you move it to? Now I play Knight D4. And I mean, again, you don't have as much as it looks like you do. You try to get fancy and B4 happens. Bishop E3, not Bishop F4. Okay, sure. I can still go Knight D4. Yeah, but still, I still go Knight D4. It doesn't exactly change my plan a whole lot. What's your ELO rating? On chess.com currently, it's a hair below 2100. I've hit 22 before, but I have a bad habit of playing chess late at night, or just in general when I'm tired, and dumping ELO. Over the board? No, over the board, I'm like a bit over 1800. But that being said, that's largely because I don't play that many classical tournaments, because it's hard to fit them in my schedule with college. Every time I play an over-the-board tournament, I get a performance rating of usually north of 1900. Well, that's weird. Got CGI and special effects, like the romance stuff in it. That's true, I would agree with that. See, the thing is, the one of the things that has aged well in The Matrix is the fight scenes. It's got a lot of stylized action, and the action is aged quite well because it was just good to begin with. Now, to some degree, you have John Wick doing that better, but that's also why I think John Wick is better than The Matrix. So, doesn't exactly change my opinion. I've been doing a little bit of grinding in Blitz. Now 1984 is really happening. Have you seen it? And just no one in the States owns anything. I'm actually quite happy to live in Eastern Europe at this point. If you're talking about the Disney lawsuit, then yes, I have seen it. completely insane. But I mean, I'm a techno hippie, all right? I use Linux, I use Proton Mail, I have a giant MP3 collection, and I collect CDs, right? I'm not perfect yet. Like, I still use Google, for example, like as a search engine. I'm trying to move away from that, but I am a techno hippie. I would if plane tickets didn't cost $1 billion. Okay, wait, let me see this. It doesn't surprise me. This has been brewing under the surface for 20 years. It's just no one's done anything because everyone's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? No one's called the bluff yet. You could fly really cheap, not from Macedonia to the US. And not on a Macedonian salary. I'm not paid like an American. I'm paid the little detour. Not that cheap. How to cope with girls asking for your Spotify playlist and you show them a collection of dodgy MP3s? What do you mean dodgy MP? What's dodgy about my legally purchased MP3s? I don't pirate these. The only reason my MP3 collection is in 200 gigabytes is because I don't pirate them. Why not? Because I don't like piracy. I'm a techno hippie, not a pirate. I expressly avoid pirating music. Is it technically pirating if you're not pirating if you're on copyright? It's still pirating. That's the problem. It is possible that I have downloaded files which I already have a copy of, but I don't have a way of ripping. It is possible that I have done that before, but I don't just pirate stuff. You have to first listen before you buy them. You shop buy them, you download a sample. I still use Apple Music because the rest of my family does, and so I mooch off of their subscription. But I do try to buy music that I like. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm not all the way there yet. And plus, like, YouTube is a way of listening to samples of stuff. Although YouTube is also pretty terrible to use as a service. I'm on Twitch. This is Amazon. Like I said, I'm not perfect. 20,000 samples. I'm not that far. Where's my music collection? I'm at like 1,300, like 1,300 or so files. Again, my music collection isn't that big yet, but all of these are legally obtained. They're either ripped from my own CDs or I have purchased them from like Bandcamp or whatever. The thing I really hate is how companies make their terms and service really long and hard to understand that you need a lawyer to interpret. Just sign up for a Disney account subscription. Yep, the free trial. That's the thing. It was a free trial. But is it legally allowed if you have a copy of it? And otherwise, it is illegal, right? Like you won't be able to download an NES game if you never purchased your own. No. It's still illegal even if you own a physical copy. If I own an NES game, but I can't rip it, so I download a copy from the internet, that is still illegal. Actually, the US's copyright law is completely messed up. A lot of the time, you can't even dump it yourself. Like, for example, I own a Nintendo Switch. This sucker is homebrewed, and I use it to dump my own Nintendo Switch games for emulation. Because emulation is a lot of times a better experience than playing it on 1080p 20 frames per second, right? It is not clear if me homebrewing my own Nintendo Switch to download my own dump my own legally purchased games is legal. It actually is most likely illegal. It just hasn't been tested in court. All of my Nintendo Switch games I have dumped myself. I have dumped my own firmware myself. Everything I've dumped myself. All of my Nintendo Switch and 3DS emulation is done with copies of stuff that I have myself gotten from my console. None of this is downloaded from the internet. And it's very unclear if that's legal or not. If they sue you, if they don't sue you, that's not the question. The question is if it's legal. It's unclear, has not been tested in court. Posture check. My postures are actually pretty good right now. Then you get the benefit of the doubt. Exactly. But I'm just saying it's not clear. So I don't get to say, oh yeah, this is definitely legal, because it has not been tested in court. And on top of that, DMCA law is completely insane. Circumventing digital locks is illegal. And so what the different ways that you warp and make your systems work so that you can make it illegal to dump your own games is a totally thing. Emulation is cool, though. Like, you could take any NES gameplay on Game Boy or Nintendo. Oh yeah, no, emulation is sick. I love emulating. Again, I emulate my own personal dumped Nintendo Switch games. I emulate my own personal dumped 3DS games. Emulation is fantastic. I love emulation. I don't emulate games I don't own because I don't personally agree with it, but yeah. No. Law in the States, the US court system is completely disintegrated. Is that for any good analysis line? I mean, I guess you just transpose. Okay. Yeah, this is a little passive. I don't like how slowly black is taking this. Is this the game you showed me earlier? Yeah, with bishop h6 and then bishop takes g7. Yeah, this is the game you showed me last time, with the exact tactic that I fell for. It's a pretty funny tactic. Also, there's a difference between private use versus doing things and then sharing with other people legally, right? Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that no matter what happens if you share it, it's illegal. And no, in the sense that even personal use might still be illegal. For example, if I remember correctly, the laws that specifically say you can make a archival copy of files also specifically state that you can't use those files. So like, if you are going off the assumption that the laws that say you can make copies for archival purposes of a game are the reason you can do it, then I'm pretty sure those laws also don't let you play that game. Even personally. Best video game of all time, Outer Wilds, it's not close. Again, emulation law is super messed up in the States. It's like bad. Any property ownership laws in the States nowadays are really quite bad. Never played Lisa? No. I doubt that's better than Outer Wilds. Never even heard of it. Is it any good? Yeah, no, from a getting into trouble perspective, if you keep it to yourself, it's very unlikely that you'll have problems. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Piglet. That's what I mean. Again, I rip and emulate my own games, so clearly I think it's legal. My point is, it's not clear. That is my opinion based on my own personal research and what I've seen online. It's not open and shut. But defensivity, yeah, if you keep it to yourself, you're not going to get in trouble. Like, even if it is illegal for me to dump my Switch games, Nintendo's not going to come after me, because I'm keeping it to myself. I have my Switch games on my personal computer, and I use them to emulate for me personally. I don't, like, distribute them or anything stupid. This is true, Piglet, and that's what I do. I'm just saying it's not clear. But yes, it's very unlikely you're going to get in trouble. I am not concerned about getting into trouble as long as I don't, as long as I physically own all the games, which I do, or digital purchase, same thing, I have a receipt, and I don't distribute, which both of those apply. I don't distribute and I physically own my games. How can I get pirated Nintendo Pokemon games on my PC? Not something you're going to ask here because I'm not going to answer. I wouldn't know. The only Pokemon games I have on my PC are Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Moon, and Emerald. All 4 of which I have physical copies of. %of mergers in the US go unsolved. Doesn't surprise me. Again, I own physical copies of all the games that I emulate. Or, again, digital copies, but same thing. Also very complicated legally are licenses. Like, did you buy the game or are you just allowed to play the game with the license plus copy of the game? Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Every game nowadays is sold with a license, not with the actual game. And so you're at the point where you don't own your games, you own permission to play them for a certain period of time under certain circumstances. From a terms and conditions standpoint. Now, I'm under the impression that a lot of the terms and conditions are effectively illegal, but you ever played Roblox or its prime? No. I am not a huge fan of Roblox. I'm a hater. They're giving you the permission to take your money. I forgot the name. No. My favorite Pokemon ROM hack. I love Pokemon Inclement Emerald. Inclement Emerald is fantastic. It has all the Pokemon and mechanics from Gen 7, except for Z-moves, ported back into Pokemon Emerald, alongside a bunch of rebalances and a few new moves, a few new abilities, and a few new Mega Evolutions. Fantastic, fantastic ROM hack. Best Pokemon game I've ever played. Yeah, Roblox, it always felt just a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Predatory. And I mean that from an economic sense as much as any other sense. Like, it feels like Minecraft, if Minecraft wasn't like laissez-faire in the sense that it just lets you do whatever the heck you want because it's just a Java jar that you download. Minecraft, but the children actually went to the mines. Unfortunately true. Unfortunately, a factual statement. Now, the weird thing about where I live is because I live in Macedonia, I have no clue how the copyright laws work here. I've looked into it, but it's even more spaghetti than the US ones are. It doesn't look as bad as the US copyright law, but I'm also not in the EU, so I don't get EU copyright law. It's real weird. I'm in a weird spot. But yeah, I love me some Pokemon Inclement Emerald. I'm currently working through a Mono Fairy run. Yeah, it's totally fun. Just like whisper it to me so it doesn't get lost in chat. I prefer if you don't talk about piracy and pirating here. Like I said, I don't support it. And just in general, I find talking about clearly legal stuff annoying. You think your copyright law is better or worse if you had it? I really don't know, Defensivity. It's something I intend to look into, but just haven't had the time to yet. It's better than the US, I know that, but because the EU's tip is round 8. Okay, the EU does a little bit of a better job with consumer protection in general, it appears, than the US does. But I mean, that's a low bar, but whatever. Okay. So no problem whatsoever. Food safety in the EU is better too? Yeah. Now again, I'm not in the EU, so I don't get that. However, I do live very close to Greece, and so I very frequently visit the EU. Do I have to guess what side it ended up on, local? The EU does some things worse, but does some things better. Yeah, it's Macedonian phrase, Sekoya planina svoja težina. Every mountain its own burden. You'll see, I won't spoil. That's exciting. Game reviews. Pitch in a fit. I'll let that cook. Okay. Okay. It's a bit slow in this line. I like queen c2 against e6, like after captures especially. Like in this line I like queen c2, but in these Slav lines, I don't know, I don't trust it. No. No, I cannot. In the Greek grocery store I can, but not in the Macedonian one. When I say we're not EU, I mean we're very not EU. It's quite a striking difference. Bishop f5, right? Interesting. What should I focus on to improve as a 700? Hey, that's a nice thing about being a 700. Basically, whatever you focus on will make you improve. Now, if you want my opinion on what would be most efficient, I would say endgames and like, see, positional chess. When I say positional chess, I mean either, if you're willing to do it, good chess books, or if you're not, good games with commentary, to kind of get a feel for like where pieces should go and how they work. Because piece maximization is something that people don't put enough weight on, like making your pieces the best that they can be. Such a big deal. Tactics come from well-placed pieces. And you can get there by luck, but you'll get tactics a lot more often if your pieces are there to support them. So you guys basically don't import food? Not much. There's a lot of agriculture here. And a lot of the food we have isn't too good for a few reasons. But we do import food, but we import food from like Serbia, not from EU. Okay. See, queen c2, that's what I mean. Queen c2 just feels a little bit premature in these lines. This is a Slav. You can't really be afraid of black taking this pawn. Or if you are, play the e3 lines. The queen is just misplaced on c2. It's a waste of a tempo. Because this bishop always wants to come to f5. And so even if it requires some shenanigans to get it there, it's much harder to avoid it getting there. Queen b3 is probably more solid. There's no reason to play it though. Queen b3 is also kind of a waste of a tempo. The English is a completely fine opening for piece positioning. If you enjoy the positions that come out of it, then go for it. Keep playing the English. English is fantastic. And there's a lot of good resources out there of a lot of really strong players playing the English to learn from. The English will not hold you back as a chess player. Very sound opening. I don't like it because I think it's a little boring, but that's almost a good thing. If you can handle boring positions, that's a huge advantage because it means the other person will get desperate and do something stupid. I do that all the time. Just bringing the queen out in general this early is a bit suspicious. Yeah, reworked my Slav lines. It was a good learning experience. That makes sense. Yeah, and queen c2 is good in specific circumstances, but... And see, this is what I mean. He plays g6, and now he gets bishop f5 with tempo. Eh. That's Twitter. I deleted my Twitter account, and every day, I'm glad I did. Okay, I think my big weakness is knowing how to respond to pawn storms. Always tend to lose to those. Can you provide an example? The Italian is fantastic. I love the Italian. Puzzles are big too, but he knows he should be doing puzzles. Everyone tells him to do puzzles. I'm trying to give advice that, while not necessarily unique, is something that he might not hear as many other places. He said he was 700 gone. Anyway, queen b3 is fine. Queen c8, I actually like queen b6 here, because the difference between this and other positions with this queen c8 is that, first off, these c5 lines aren't scary, because both sides have already fianchettoed, and black has a little bit more development compared to what he normally has in these positions, so it's a bit better than you would normally get in these anti-London lines. And because white capturing isn't scary, this open file is actually quite good for black. So I would recommend queen b6. Queen c8 is just a little bit passive, especially because it makes it so that when you move this knight and castle, your rooks are not connected. And this queen and knight working together might look good, but this knight's coming to d7, and when it does, it's going to cut off this connection anyway. I think queen b6 is slightly better. This isn't a mistake per se, it's just I prefer queen b6. Okay, bishop g2, fine. Bishop g7, fine. Castles, fine. Knight c3, okay. D takes, okay. Queen takes. Bishop h3. So slow. And see, black just gave white the full center for no reason. No, like, there is no, black gains nothing from giving white the center. He trades off the light squared bishop, which, to be fair, is an important piece, but this isn't a normal Catalan. The center's already been resolved, so this bishop isn't as important, especially with the pawn on c6. Interesting. Again, if you could provide an example game, that'd be super interesting, super helpful. Yeah, no, well, white is doing perfectly fine in this position. I like white quite a lot here. But see, that's the thing. Black didn't have to do this. b5, I mentioned this idea earlier, right? And this queenside, we're talking about pawn storms, this queenside space grab is actually pretty good, because white doesn't have a huge development advantage. He doesn't have too crazy a grasp of the center, so he doesn't have any of the normal Catalan advantages that let him punish these sorts of pushes. He's wasted so many tempi with these queen moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 queen moves on move 11. Black has done 1 queen move on move 11. You do some quick maths. Black got 3 free moves. And it looks like it too. You look at this position and look at development. Black's not behind in development. If anything, he's doing a little bit better. Again, these queen moves just burn so much time. So much time. Now, again, black didn't do that. He just gave white the whole center and didn't really fight back. Knight b d7. I disagree with that. You should play something that inspires you. Rook d1. I don't love rook d1. The reason I don't love rook d1 is because, first thing, this bishop isn't developed yet, so I really would want to get this bishop developed first. That's my first course of action. I don't know if bishop e3 is any good, but... Or you may even bishop f4. I'd rather play bishop f4. Bishop f4 to me is the most natural move by far. Knight d7 is threatening both e5 and c5. Bishop f4 is nice for both. c5 isn't that scary, because you can just push your pawns through. And it also prevents e5, and it's just an active square for the bishop. And if he moves his knight to attack it, you can go back to e3. Oh, I know. I've seen that quote before. My bishop 2 yet? I mean, to me, you look at all the squares it can go to, right? So it can't go here, obviously. So you have these 4 options. Bishop d2 is clearly bad. Or not bad, it's clearly not necessary. It's very passive for no reason. Okay. Bishop e3. Bishop e3 is fine, but it walks into knight g4, which allows e5, which is his plan, right? So he gets to play this with tempo, and then he gets e5 next move. Bishop e3 doesn't look fantastic. Bishop g5 allows e5 immediately. Because of this knight g4 stuff. I'm just looking... Maybe it's all the Catalan experience, but... I'm thinking about e5 in this position. To me, that's black's most obvious plan. And so bishop f4 prevents that by developing a piece and connecting my rooks. And for me, the reason I don't care for rook d1 is because I feel like this rook wants to be on d1. You can't jump this rook over and make it go to e1, right? I'm thinking e1, d1 for the rooks. Because he hasn't played b5 yet, and I doubt he's going to. With this pawn on c6, I think a rook on c1, d1 is kind of eh. Yep, defensivity. Morphe's fantastic. He's such a good inspiration. Okay, I'll look at this in a second. Armpit lice. Very visceral name. Also, thanks for the follow. Unless he plays b5, in which case things change a little, I'm thinking more rook e1 d1 than I am rook d1 c1. Yeah, but the pawn is amply defended. And even then, why are you committing it that early? Now, the galaxy brain move here that the computer likes and that I might play in classical and that I agree with is a4, because he should play b5. Not wants to, he should. Now, he's not going to, because if he hasn't done it yet, I doubt he's going to play it in the future. If he's not familiar with the idea, you're not going to find it over the board because it looks stupid. It really, b5 in these positions looks stupid. But it is the plan. This queenside pawn push is much scarier than it looks. So a4 is the smart move because you're preventing black's best plan. But I don't think black is going to be playing this anytime soon because it's the plan and he hasn't played it yet, which he really should have. There's no reason to commit this yet if you're going to play b5. So that's another reason I want bishop f4 is because I'm still suspicious of if he's going to do that. So because I don't think he's going to play b5, I think he's going to play e5, in which case this helps prevent e5 as well. So it's a little bit of a psychological move in that sense. The best move is probably a4 or some other move to deal with b5. This is partially psychological. Rook d1, okay. Knight b6. Once again, he has no interest in playing b5. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the position. Which, to be fair, makes sense. These positions are harder than they look. These are complicated positions. I only know it because I've seen it a billion times in the Catalan and lost to it a billion times. I wouldn't find it over the board myself either. Okay. Queen b3. e6. That's just ugly. Why? This is still not... This hasn't moved yet. This needs to live. This bishop is dead. It doesn't exist. We can replace it with a pawn and it'd be the same position. Live. Live. Anywhere. e3 is good. Oh, spoilers. e5 for white here. The problem with e5 is this square becomes an instant mega weakness. This pawn is weak and this square is weak. I immediately play knight fd5. I don't calculate. I don't think. I don't blink. I play knight fd5. And this square is weak and this pawn is weak. Yeah, but you get d6. Yeah, but so this is true. You both have a weak square. Only white has a weak pawn. And you're putting pawns on your bishop's diagonal. And there's just no reason. Plus c5 is coming, in which case this pawn's going to be weak too. It's unnecessary. This move might be good in a different position because you're giving up something to get something in return. You're giving up this square and this weakness to get the d6 square. Interesting idea. In this position, why give something up? You just have a clear advantage. You're giving black play where he doesn't have any. Black doesn't have another weakness to target in this position. Maybe he can try going after this pawn, but it's not that easy. It's actually quite difficult. So you're giving him a weakness when he doesn't have one. That's a big deal. Again, knight e5, just bishop f4. Get your bishop out. Or I guess bishop g5, if you want to. Or bishop e3. Just somewhere. Just one of these three squares. All three are good. Take your pick. All three have an argument. All three have a legitimate reason why you tell me I played this move because XYZ. All three have a reason. It's just make your pick. The bishop needs to go somewhere. Connect your rooks. This move invites problems. You don't have any problems, but it invites them. It's unnecessary. I disagree. If you enjoy the positions that come out of c4, it's an excellent learning experience. Knight of d7. Okay, we repeated. Nice. h3. Okay. Okay, I see you. Fencing, that's nice. I still would rather move the bishop, though. It's a miracle. We move the bishop. We move the bishop. Fantastic. e3 is fine. Again, e3, f4, g5. All of them have good reasons. I'm not sure which one I would play. I'll spend a long time thinking about it because all three look very good. So e3 is fine. And playing it after h3, also fine. I like it. So in that case, I like h3 more. Since you played h3 with the intention of playing bishop e3, I like it more. Because it makes more sense. Okay, queen c7. Sure. Rook a c1. Excellent. Committing to your idea. Rook a c8. Knight b5. Aw. I saw this instantly because I played the same thing against the London. I've seen this tactic so many times. This is very difficult for black to deal with. Because now you play bishop f4. And that's a lot of tempi. Look at that. It's delicious. That's an exchange right there. Because he does not want to play queen back to b8. You take on e6. And it's still an exchange, but he also loses a pawn. See, the reason you want to do knight b5 first is because knight b5 forces queen b8. Right? Because if after knight b5 he goes queen e7 like he did in the game, then you get knight takes a7 and this is hanging and this is under attack. Very bad. So he can't afford to let you do that. Which means after knight b5, you also get to play bishop f4. You get them both. Versus if you play bishop f4 first like you did in the game, now you don't have knight b5. So you only get to play one. Right? Hello, Philip. But is he trying to improve elo or is he trying to improve his chess? If he's trying to improve elo, a dodgy gambit will work. But this is still very good for you. You're still in an amazing position. You still have everything. But, you know, it is talk of precision. This is more precise. Because you get them both. And his queen's stuck in the corner. I mean, you can't ask for a more picturesque position. And then knight c7 plays itself. And then you just win an exchange and win on the spot. I mean... Evans Gambit's fantastic. I love the Evans Gambit. Okay, bishop f4, queen e7, e5. Okay, sure. I'm still not sure if I find e5 necessary. a4 is a very elegant solution. You're kicking the knight. Where does the knight go? Evans games are beautiful. My favorite game of all time, my favorite chess game of all time, came out of an Evans Gambit. Not one that I played, it's a Grandmaster game. This I like because it forces the knight to an awkward position. Followed up with my calculation. That's fine. A4 here is so nice. You're just kicking the knight. It doesn't have anywhere to go. And he can't play A5 because then the knight hangs. This knight doesn't have a good square. Where's it going to go? D7? A8? Like, come on. Let's let you waste a move playing something silly. A5. Yuck. Yuck. So A4 is very nice. It's a very typical sort of thing. I like those sorts of moves, but it's not super easy to find. And E5 makes sense. You are giving up some stuff, so I'm always hesitant to pull the trigger on moves like this because I feel like you're giving up a weakness for no reason. Now, it's not for no reason. You're right, but it always just feels a bit... That's a stylistic thing, though, I suppose. Okay, bishop g5, f6. E takes. Bishop takes, queen takes, knight e4, queen f5, rook e1. Uh-huh. Okay. This looks like just very natural chess. Knight e4, rook e1. Now you just have so much activity and your rooks and knights are all insanely active. Black doesn't have as much counterplay as nice as the knight in d5 looks. Okay, rook f8, that makes sense. The nice thing is that this knight also guards f2, so you're not even scared of that. Knight d6? Sure. Just give me the exchange. I don't want to think about anything else. Stupid question. If I play, like... I guess I don't have a good waiting move. Well, that's kind of funny. It's almost Zugzwang. I really don't have a good waiting move. Yeah, and I guess knight c5 is your plan. Okay. Rook f8, knight d6, queen f6, takes on c8, knight takes c8, rook e2. Hello, Q hasher. Knight d6, c1. Yeah, knight c5 is my plan. Makes sense. I'm okay with that. Knight b5. Just rook takes e6. Very simple. Very simple. Rook 1 e2. I like it. Just consolidating. Queen d3. Okay, this move I don't understand, but I'm assuming you have a plan. Is it knight h4 like to sack on g6 or something? Yeah, trapdoor is a suspicious open. Very nice, very nice. Excellent. I like it. Keeping everything active. Not giving him any counterplay. Very good. A very clean game in general. My only disagreement is in like the late opening, early middle game. I think you took a bit of an awkward path to developing your pieces. And then, of course, tactically here, knight b5 first was better. Bishop f4 is still good, but... No, the engine is... The Evans is pretty close to engine approved. So yeah, nice game of chess. I liked it. I don't think Braden's still here. Is Psychic still here? I don't think so. Gone is still here. time is it? 10:42. Okay, I got a little bit of time. Yeah, the opening against the Slav. I'm doing improvement on a bunch after the tournament, but I thought that after I got what I wanted, the Yummy Center, it was pretty chill. It was pretty chill. I was really splitting hairs with a lot of the stuff there, because overall, you didn't play any bad moves by any stretch. Yeah, so you're the last person, Callum, which is perfect. I'll close the queue. I like attacking chess, but it feels bad if the opponent knows the entire line and then you get restricted, almost like you're facing Karpov during the endgame. Yeah, that's part of why I dropped some of the gambits I used to play. Also, I'd like to point something out. In this position, Black eventually had to play Queen C7. So Queen C8 was a waste of tempo earlier in the game. It's a subtle thing, but Queen C8 there, I'm telling you, is slow. Controversial take on how I'm playing close positions, pretty fun. To me, it depends on the close position. I enjoy a good, like, close Sicilian, or even some Caro-Cans, or some slower lines of the Queen's Gambit, but like the French, I find the French super annoying. Pardon me, I'm getting tired. Okay, C4, G3. Knight f6, bishop g2. Sure. Sure. So far, so good. Black's played a little weird. I'm not exactly sure what he's cooking, but I'm not complaining. Calculation isn't my favorite part of chess. Okay. Once again, Black gave White the full center. It seems to be a running theme. You have to try c5 at these positions. You have to try. Okay. Knight bd, then c3, c5. Okay. But now he has d5. e3 is fine. If this works, it's just such a good move. And this is such a oppressive passer, I feel like. I don't know. This just looks suspicious. Anyway. Okay, but e3 can't be bad. Yeah, I don't like time scrambles. CXD, EXD, bishop c7. Oh, so slow, so passive. He deserves death for this. Your opponent deserves death. d5. I'm not sure that's way of giving it to him, though. I want rooks on C and D. That's what I want. Which means I want the queen off the back rank. C2, B3 makes sense to me. The computer's also recommending queen E2. That move I don't understand as much, if I'm being fully honest. But both C2 and B3 make sense. I don't know which one I would play. I would probably play queen B3. Then you start bringing your rooks in and you just keep oppressing them. Next time, yeah. That's possible. D5 isn't terrible. It just releases a little bit of the pressure. I play queen C2 to attack the king. Yeah, the thing is, for me, queen B3 also attacks the king, because this diagonal is also could be a problem long term. Both diagonals are aggressive. It's just in different ways. Because also this one kind of prevents any activation of light squared bishop, and it doesn't put itself on the c file in the future. Again, it's not objectively better. It's just I prefer it. Both make sense. Ooh, that's an ugly move. Knight takes c7. Rook c1. It's so slow. So slow. Okay. It is good there. You don't need the bishop on c4. The bishop on c4 helps, but it's not necessary. The queen there is very safe. It gets out of the way of the rooks, and it puts pressure on b7 and this diagonal long term. The queen here is just a long term such a nuisance because it prevents so much of Black's play. This, it might be a little bit more outwardly aggressive, but this one's very prophylactic. Okay, rook c1, b6, queen d4. Why queen d4? Are you going to checkmate him? No. No. Knight d4 is fantastic. Just going to b5. And then you get like d6. Oh, this knight is going all the way into his position. All the way in. Look at this. Bang, bang, bang. No, that's pretty. That's a nice piece. Your entire position falls apart. Queen d4 is hope chess? Yeah. Queen d4 is 100% hope chess. Okay, well. I can't fault you for committing. Based local. Got the craziest story ever, bro? Tell me. Talk to me. I can't fault you for not, you know, going for it. Rook FD. G5, knight C5, queen C3. Ooh. He just has knight H5. You guard the pawn. You get the knight out of the way. And white's lost all of their initiative because they no longer have a development or space advantage. It's not a good plan, though. It's a decidedly bad plan. That is, it's very simply refuted. I know I talk about making plans, but I prefer good plans. I'm like, tall? No, you're not. Not in this position. Not in this game. Ooh. And you went backwards. You have to go forward. You can't go backwards in these positions. You just want that checkmate. Goodness gracious. Why didn't he play knight e6? Why didn't he play knight e6? Hold the entire position together. There's so many things I'd rather do. That one was weird. This is absolutely 2 a.m. chess. This is 100% 2 a.m. chess or 3 a.m. chess, whatever. This is the most 2 a.m. chess to ever chess. So I was playing classical chess, right? All is good. I'm chilling. I hear this dude let out this monstrous scream. So I just thought he blundered, but I look over and bro starts shaking. Foam's coming out of his mouth. Falls down and keeps shaking. He was fine? Was it like a stroke or something? A heart attack? When's next stream? Wednesday. My dudes. Assuming I still have internet and power, because it seems to be that seems to be not reliable as of late. Well, I'm glad he was okay, but sheesh. It doesn't matter, I'll be fine. Poor kid. E4, E5. What color are you here, Callum, if you don't mind my asking? Knight F3, knight C6, knight F6. Okay, Petrov. Knight C3, C6. White. What is C6 a move here? It's not a move I'm familiar with. Knight takes E5. Queen E7. And then it has to be D4 here, right? D4, C5. I thought D6 and he was going to... Wait, hold on a second. Am I missing something? No, let's C5 here. First ever tournament game? Oh, cool. Oh, that's definitely weird. What's queen C7? No, I played queen E6 though. Doing pretty well in tournament, sitting down for the last round. It's a 12-year-old Indian, Chinese, or Russian kid. This is true. That is a factual statement. You will never know true terror until you're sitting down in front of an Indian kid over the chessboard. It's something else, man. I have no idea what bro's cooking in this position, but it smells rank. Tell me you play bishop c4. Tell me you... Ah, good news. Let's go. No fear. That's all fake news. Kill him. Exactly. D6. Okay, hold on a second. I was 1170 during the game. Okay. So you played knight takes, which is definitely good. Is bishop takes better or is it the same? Can I play bishop e3? Heck, can I take this? Oh no, you get queen takes e5. Okay, can I play bishop f4? It's a stupid looking move. The point being, after this, I'm attacking your knight. That's pretty. Okay. But completely unnecessary. Knight takes should be totally sufficient. Of course you are. Stick Twitch. No, I don't care if the knight hangs. Let the knight hang. I'm playing bishop f4. I double dog dare you to take the knight. Bishop g4 might even be playable here. Bishop f4 is just so nice. Heck, I triple dog dare you to take that knight. But the d square is overprotected. Okay, so what's your next move? Takes. What do you block d7 with? No, it's fine. I'm just looking at it because it's interesting. What do you block d7 with? Knight d7 with the b knight. Okay, so if you go here with the b knight, then first off I can just take this. That's still completely possible. Probably not best, but possible. But also I have e6, which e6 I love. This move I think is fantastic. Look how Cromnick's like some Eldritch horror. Anyway, e6 is so pretty because you're stuck. If you take the knight, white takes the bishop. I'm not taking your knight. No, that'd be too easy. I'm playing e5 and then knight d5, or maybe I play knight b5 and go for mate on c7. Maybe I do that. Maybe I mate you on c7 with knight and bishop. How about that? This is way too much fun in a position for me to just take your knight. Thank you, Murky Gator, for the follow. I have no intention to take this. None whatsoever. I might have sacrificed a piece for 3 pawns, which isn't even that big of a sacrifice, but nothing of yours can move. This can't move, 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 this can't move. What can move? This knight can move. Can this knight even move, actually? What happens if you do something silly like this? Oh no, I could just take the queen. Okay, never mind, this can't move either. What, knight g8 or something? Yeah, no, just knight b5, I'm going to mate you. Okay, let's say, okay, wait, what's your next move then? a6, to prevent knight b5. Fair enough, e5, what's your next move? E5. I'm about to trap your queen, just so you know. I'm going to play knight d5 and your queen is trapped once you move this knight. Now, you do have h4 in this specific position, but now I take on d7 because you're not threatening my bishop anymore. So e5. That's what I'm telling you. I have too many threats. Your position's falling apart. That's what's so pretty about this, is I don't have my piece back yet, and I'm not even taking it back yet. I'm just pushing, pushing, pushing. Sacking the piece is just really pretty. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's really pretty. Like, where does this go? Well, because your turn has already passed. So, like, you have two squares that doesn't get captured. I guess b6 is forced. b6? What? What do you mean? I don't see a b6. b6 in this position? Then I take this knight. You're just letting me have the knight in f6? How would you describe why people like the show Breaking Bad to grandma who has zero pop culture understanding even anything about current media or the internet? Because it's a very interesting character study. Actually, you know what? Character study is too much of a loaded term. Yeah, I gotta try something. Hold. Okay, I'm taking this. Next move. Okay, okay. Because everything is connected together. Well, you can't play rook a7 yet. You have to take back this pawn. Because everything is connected together, and it's a really interesting... It paints a really interesting picture of a man whose demons basically take him over the course of a long time. So you get to watch it in acute detail and see how it affects everyone around him in his life. Yeah, but a7 after? Okay, what do you take with? That's my first question. And I enjoy answering them. Why do you think I stream? So, what do you take back with G or with queen? The pawn. Okay. So my gut tells me knight d5. And I'm also still threatening the checkmate. Don't think queen takes is good. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's all losing. Because I think I have knight d5 either way. Knight d5 now, and if you take with queen, I also have knight d5. It doesn't change the picture. That seems like a lot, Onion. Evidently queen d5 is better or something. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing knight d5. I'm winning your queen. Well, you sack the queen for the bishop. You see my point here. Congratulations. You have I now have a queen for a bishop and 3 pawns. I would rather... No, I have a queen and 3 pawns for the bishop. A queen and 3 pawns for the bishop, and your king is still stuck in the center. And I have a pawn on the 7th rank. And I could still castle. Your position is disintegrating. No, that's fine. I'm just saying it's disintegrating and made on the board. And like everything on the board, the position is disintegrating. That's why I like it so much. That's why this is so pretty. It's because you're just immediately threatening mate. Oh, it's such an elegant solution. I'm not even sure this is a good move here. Yeah, because you have knight e8. I like answering some tough questions. I do skip quite a few tough questions. Such an elegant... Okay, now to actually what happened in the game. A little bit of a sidetrack there, but it was in hard defense is really pretty. Oh wait, what's the next move? Bishop e6. Sure. Bishop takes, queen takes on h8. Fantastic. d5 castles. Excellent. No. Absolutely. You have to try. But I'm just saying you're dead. I agree. But you're dead. Rook e1. I like this move a lot. dxe4. Did I skip a move? I think there's an error in the notation. Because it currently says knight takes d5 as the next move. Maybe it's just knight d5 by itself. Maybe no captures. Or maybe you... Okay. Would you rather travel 200 years in the past and live the rest of your life in that time period, or 200 years in the future? Also, you get to bring a suitcase with anything from the present before you travel back and forth. 200 years in the past would be 1824. I'd die of smallpox or something. I'd rather go to the future. And plus, I would literally die without my gaming PC. No. That's fine. Notation being bad isn't a problem. Queen, rook takes e4. Excellent. Here. B takes c. Well, we didn't cure smallpox. We just vaccinated it really, really well, if I remember correctly. It's post-apocalypse? Yeah, well, at least I'll know. King c6, d5 check. I don't mind this move. I think it's unnecessary, but it's not bad. Bishop f4. Now this I like. You should be. This is so far so good. Why wouldn't queen take rook versus knight take knight? Because I take your queen. I mean, everything loses. But the point here is he was trying to say, ooh, you're threatening my queen, I'm threatening your queen. Ooh. So if you take, I take here. That's the point. He was trying to trick him, you know? That's what I'm assuming. I don't actually know the other person's intention. Is that very green here? No worries. I've fallen for stupider tactics in the past month. Yeah, try to take my queen after. Yeah, it's being fancy schmancy. But you take with check here, so it doesn't matter that my queen is under attack. I can completely ignore it, which is what Callum correctly noticed. He's like, okay, I don't care. You're not actually threatening anything. Yeah, but that almost makes it better. Because there'd be a lot of things in the past that I wouldn't be able to change. I don't think I would have as much influence over the past as I feel like I would like to think I would. Yeah. Queen g4. I do like queen g4 here. But even then it's unnecessary. Just keep it simple. This is so clearly winning that while I like queen g4, this to me is a completely reasonable way of going about it. Yeah, I've done that. It really hurts. King d7. d6, knight a6. I don't like d6. That's the first move I really dislike. For me, I would just say, now you play queen g4 check. Bring the queen in, bring the rook in. This pawn is fantastic here because it's blocking his knight. He can't develop another piece. Just more pieces into the fight. This isn't terrible, but there's no reason for it. Knight a6, knight f7, sure. h6, rook b1, sure. I just want to see more pieces get into the fight. The how does not matter to me that much. g5, rook, bishop g3, sure. Bishop g7, rook takes b7 check, fantastic. You'll love to see it. King e6, d7, king takes f7, d8 equals queen, king g6, queen takes a8, bishop takes c3. I'm totally okay with this. This is a very simple way of winning this position, which I am okay with. Queen g8, king f6, queen d6, king f5, f3. I like it. Preventing any more escape squares for the king. Knight b4, rook takes b4. Rook takes b4. There's got to be mate in one somewhere. Yeah, queen d6. There it is. I'm not even that bothered by it, though. The mate in one is a little much. Queen f7. Bishop f6. Okay, sure. Okay, sure. I like it. Good game. Very clean. Your opponent played pretty terrible in the opening, and you just killed him for it. Which he deserved death. Other queen, it doesn't make a great deal of difference. Yeah, your opponent deserved death for his sins against Kaisa, and he died for them. Excellent. No notes. Even the bishop takes f7 stuff, this is completely sufficient to win, and it's way easier. The bishop takes stuff I just thought was pretty. This, much more practical. Yeah, I mean, after, like, this position, your game is very easy to play. Now, I would have said spend a little more time to win the game a little faster, but that doesn't make that big a difference. Not that big a deal, if you ask me. Which I'm assuming you are, because it's my stream after all. No, I think it's very good. It's a good game. Very clean. A little inefficient, but inefficient being its worst crime, that's a pretty light one. Especially for 1170. Okay. Now it's a little past 11 p.m., which means it's time for me to go to bed because I have work tomorrow, so I'm raiding somebody. Knight takes c4 instead of rook e1. I like rook e1 better, actually. I prefer rook e1. I like this move a lot. Very in the spirit of the position. Is anyone I'm following live? Yes? No? Maybe so? Probably not. Monday night. Thank you for the analysis. No problem. Appreciate you stopping by. How does this work? Yeah, it's a little unreliable, but that's partially my fault for slurring my words together so bad. And additionally, not customizing the database at all and just using it off the shelf. Additionally, my CPU on the stream PC is a wee bit overloaded, so sometimes it just stops working altogether because it's doing a bit too much. CPU upgrades are expensive though, even for 10th gen, which is what this is. So I have no intention of fixing that. Twitch does not make me enough money for me to invest even more into hardware than I already have. which is too much. Nah, the notation wasn't a big deal. I'll rate this Rob Taylor guy. Seems pretty chill. Okay, give me a second. Fantastic. Well, thank you all for stopping by. I will see you on Wednesday if I still have Wi-Fi. Good night.